changed forever. Random King, no fun Tuesday? I can't be a part of that. Check, check, check. It's moving better. I think that might be something. I tell you what, I'm not going to launch the chat thing I use. Let me just see if we can go live here. Let's see if we can do this. All right, there's visual. No chat right now because of the problems. But let's see what this does for a minute. This might be better. I can still see the chat over here. Let me go back to the original chat. Let's see. Let me try that. Where is that? Docs, multi-chat. It's launching. Maybe that's the problem. Okay. Red Ranger says we don't need chat on screen. Okay, I agree with you that it's not necessary, but helpful. Let's see how many people come by and go, where's the chat? There it is, Walking Miracle. You said it as we were saying it. That seems to be what was causing the problem. I don't know. We'll give it a minute. Usually it took a couple minutes. You prefer not to see it? Why was that problematic for you, Chuck? Let's get the closed captioning working again. There it is. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's that chat tool that I've been using. But that tool allows me to see the YouTube comments, the TikTok comments, and everything coming over on the screen. So let me try. Can I put that multi-chat on the screen for everybody to see? I don't know if I can. It's distracting? Really? Interesting. I don't look at it. I think why it's helpful is if somebody got a comment on YouTube and you guys are watching on Twitch, it now brings the YouTube comment over so you at least see what we're talking about here. And it allows me to click on a message and put it up in the... No, Misty, easy. I know, you're like me. I immediately want to go to the, follow the rules, but we don't really have a rule on that, so. Nashville Lou, what's happening? Yeah, I don't know what was causing the problem, gang. I'm so sorry for the trouble getting started today, but I think we're golden for at least now. I'll just leave the, it does unite us. Very good, Red Ranger. I like it. I'll just keep the chat up on screen where I can see it here. Wait, actually, no, I see Twitch just fine. What about YouTube? Is YouTube working? Let's see. It's interesting that I really didn't change anything. YouTube, I don't get a whole lot of comments over on YouTube, except for Goofy, who wanted me to hurry up. You know. All about Goofy. Yo, Soccer Brothers, there you go. There's a YouTube viewer. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. What brings you to the channel, Soccer Brothers? Not a lot of soccer content here, I'll be honest with you. We do talk Ted Lasso from time to time. That's about as close as we get. I do enjoy watching, soccer, World Cup kind of stuff. But Cass Phoenix, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, we got a couple people watching on YouTube. Welcome. Thank you for coming by. Y'all are on YouTube Vertical. If you haven't subbed already, please do. I rarely ask for that. If you wouldn't mind liking the stream for today, I'm always trying to add more viewers, so that's much appreciated. But what brings you guys by on YouTube? Are you just scrolling through and you found the stream, or are you here specifically because we're going to talk about Chef Ashton? How you doing, Chef Ashton? I'd be happy to check out your content. What do you make? Can I open your link as a separate? Go to channel. Can I go to channel in a different page? Oh, good. It does go in a different page. Literal chef. You literally make the foods. Recipe for the best strawberry shortcake. You have my attention. Gluten-free chocolate chip. I'm assuming that ends in cookies. You know what? I'll sub you. Thank you for asking nicely, Chef Ashton. I appreciate you. Darth Wacko, what's happening? How are you now? Poppin' Stock, a comment on YouTube from a Twitch viewer. Cue the math things going on the screen. That's too much. Good vids and food. I like it. Thank you, Cass Phoenix. Appreciate you. Chuck, that is on brand for Chuck. He does make cynical comments. You're welcome, Chef. I hope to see some great content from you. I don't make a lot of pre-recorded content. If you look at my channel, you'll see most of my stuff as lives. Occasionally, I'll do some pre-recorded content. I appreciate you, Chef Ashton. I still struggle with editing. So it's easier for me, not today, but most days, to hit the live button, go live, and create content on the fly where you guys ask questions and we communicate. And I have an outline for the show and how it works. Speaking of Ted Lasso, there's your soccer content. But occasionally I'll make a pre-recorded video. Yes. Oh, cool. I just enabled a new thing that alerts me when Misty puts a message in, and it popped up like a warning. So I have a free NFT for you guys today who are on Twitch, but I'll also copy the link and put it over on YouTube. If you collect NFTs, you probably know what we're doing here. If you don't, all you got to do is get a Wax wallet. It's basically free. It's pennies to open a Wax wallet. And then I give you a free NFT every Tuesday. Sometimes those can be used to do blends, which is like upgrading your NFT to something more rare. Sometimes it's not. But each week you can come by on Tuesday, fill out a quick form, get a free NFT. So let me get that free form URL for everybody here today. Put it on YouTube for those, for Chef and Cass Phoenix and anybody else that comes by. There you go. There it is. So this is a legit, you can ask anybody else in the chat. This is a legit thing. I'm not trying to get any information from you to do anything bad with. All I want you to do is fill out the form, and we need your Wax wallet. If you don't have a Wax wallet already, go get one. I can show you on screen how that works. Don't just put, check back later or something like that. That's not going to help. I'll distribute these tomorrow to everybody who gives me a wallet. But if you don't have a Wax wallet, super simple, and this is also not some sort of scam. The Wax blockchain has been around for many years now and has hosted companies like Topps, Garbage Pail Kids, Funko, Hot Wheels, a bunch of different brands, right? And they don't all necessarily participate on the blockchain anymore, but Funko does, and we constantly talk about their content, which is what we'll be talking about today. If you don't have a Wax wallet yet, you need to get one, and I can help you through the process. If you need it, here's a link on YouTube. mycloudwallet.com is where you get started. And I'll put that over on Twitch as well. I think everybody there is familiar, but don't edit, publish the content as it is. That's what I try to do, but that still has its issues with me creating the content to even put up on YouTube in a way that I don't have to edit it. I was looking at some weird thing that popped up in chat, but it was just a continuation of the link. But anyway, this is the website where you sign up. You'll get to a step when you sign up for the first time that asks you to deposit, I believe it's 5 Wax. Don't let that be a hindrance to you. 5 Wax these days is like 10 cents. Wax has lost a lot of value. But I see that as an opportunity. If I had money right now, some extra income, I would be buying Wax right now because I really think it's going to go back up. And it'll be a great opportunity to turn your whatever money into more money. Not a guarantee, not financial advice, but it is lower than it has been in a long time. It is currently sitting at, it was like 0.0227. We were up to 0.07 just a few months ago. So that would be like triple your money if we get back up. If I had a couple grand laying around to invest, I would put some in Wax right now. But the whole crypto market is down. I would put it in Wax because I will end up spending that money anyway on things like Funko NFTs and NFTs from my friends. What's up, Justin Clayton? How are you? But you do you. Don't spend money you don't have. Don't max out the credit cards for a dream. Unless you're Kevin Smith and you're going to make a movie, and then it works. But, that's different. I forgot the command for that Ted Lasso command. The instinct was to think it was MVP. Oh, it does make sense that it might be MVP, doesn't it? It does make sense. So today we're giving away the free NFT. If you haven't figured it out yet, anybody figure out what that NFT is all about today? I think our regular members will get it. There's Liz over on YouTube too. Thank you. Wow, a lot of activity on YouTube. Guys, don't forget to like the actual live. That's super helpful for me. It is based on Droppp Arcade, which is something we're going to talk about today. If you guys are not familiar with Droppp Arcade, it's something we've talked about a lot over the months, but over the last couple weeks, it's really heated up. Droppp Arcade is a new game, kinda, that's coming to the blockchain, specifically to Droppp, which is Funko's NFT website. Funko Plus. There's some other stuff on there as well. But there's a game that's going to start, my guess is this week. I think Droppp Arcade is going to kick off this week. So as I do a lot of times, I love to theme the free NFTs around what I think is going on in the NFT space or in pop culture. And you'll see the similarities between today's Nerd Unite logo and the Droppp Arcade logo. I do it not to rip them off or anything. I do it as in honor of, and I hope they see it that way. Yeah, it is definitely Droppp Arcade. I'm excited. I think it's all going to launch this week. I think we already have a pretty good basis, homage, if you will. Exactly, Randy C. We have a really good basis for what the game's going to be, but until we really see it launched and we get in, I don't think we're going to know fully how this thing's going to work. The long and short of it is, if you have old Funko NFTs, or if you want to participate in the game, you'll need to get some of those older Funko NFTs. What do I mean by old? Ones that have already gone through the redemption process. So projects that you aren't currently collecting the royalty set, or you don't currently have redemption coins that need to be turned in. Once all that is over, those NFTs become part of the game, and you can turn them in to get points. The points are all listed out in this article, which I'll share the links for. If you haven't collected Funko NFTs before, don't worry. I think you still can jump in the game, but I don't think Season 1 is going to be where you need to jump in. Season 1 is what's going to kick off now. Think of it as like round 1 of the game, because what's going to happen is we're going to have 3 months-ish to burn or convert our NFTs. They use the word convert to get points. And then you want to make a point leaderboard. You're trying to make the high score, essentially. And if you make the top 333 at the end of the 3 months, you can't make the top 333 a month in and then get knocked down the leaderboard and still get something. Not how it works. When they do the snapshot at the end of the 3 months, they'll say, okay, these are the top 333 people. They each are going to get a coin that they can turn in and get this pop. Now, I'm open and honest with my audience here, and if you guys want to go share with your friends, go for it. I wouldn't recommend sharing with the world, because that's going to change the game, right? I really think, and this is not a shot at Droppp, it's not a shot at Funko, it's just how I think, based on what I know about the way the business works and how much a mold costs to make, etc., etc. This one is limited to 333 pieces. And right now, the value, if somebody were to say, hey, I want to buy it right now, based on where I think it's going to be, we're talking $500 to $1,000. Probably around maybe $400 to $500, right? Is the value of this pop, because it's so limited. But think long term on this. If you burn a bunch of your NFTs in Season 1 and get your points, and you don't make the top 333, you threw away all those NFTs. If we wait till the end of Season 1, there's 333 winners. I may or may not participate to try to be in that top 333. We'll see. Season 1 ends, they go to Season 2. Season 2 will most likely have another reward limited to 333 pieces. Why do I think that? Well, 3 seasons of 333 is essentially 1,000. When Funko makes a mold, that is the actual mold that they pour the vinyl into to make a pop before it is painted, or whatever process it goes through to get its color, they have to pay for that mold. That mold costs big bucks, anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000. They are not going to make the mold, I don't think, in my opinion, to make just 333 pops. My guess is Season 2 will have a color variant of this, and Season 3 will have a color variant of this, or even possibly there will be the same pop 3 different times. It says in this article right here that I have up on screen, only 333 of the Freddy Funko as Droppp Monster Pop will be available for Season 1. And it does say here limited to 333 pieces, but I don't think that necessarily means that this pop is only 333 total. I think it could still mean that this is just 333 limited to this season. I could be reading it wrong. You might see this exact same pop for Season 2 and this exact same pop for Season 3. They can say, well, we worded it, read back to the wording. It said limited to 333, but that meant for Season 1. That wording could get them in trouble in the long run. But anyway, I'm not trying to out them or talk any smack or anything. I'm just trying to say, be smart, think forward, and don't bet the farm on winning Season 1 by putting all your eggs in that basket. right? Think through it. So what my recommendation to you, the Nerds Unite community, anybody else, exactly, Walking Miracle. That's what I'm saying, Callard, a color variant. Exactly. They could do that, and that's absolutely valid, what they're saying. The wording is right. The community will be upset because they expect a different mold for everything, or else it's just the exact same pop. Variants are very commonplace and used to be that was the norm. They'd make a pop, then they'd make like a chrome version. They'd make a pop, they'd make a flocked version. They made a pop, they'd make a diamond exclusive version. And people didn't get upset. But now things have changed a little bit, and the community, the vocal community that are Funko collectors, love to tell everybody what's right and what's wrong, and they think it's very wrong if the same mold is used again. That's just garbage, right? So to those who say that, I believe you're wrong. It is your opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion. But unfortunately, those loud few seem to be the voice of the fan, which is not true. I would take happily this Droppp monster in 4 colors. I would take happily this Droppp monster in a regular, a flocked, a chrome, whatever. If it's only that the Freddy is with different colors, I'm good with not even trying for the top 3 through 3. Precisely, Boba James. So here's what I think I'm going to do. Season 1, I can look right now and total up how many points I might have eligible to go into Season 1 based on the chart that's right here on this website. And that is every one of one's worth 100,000 points. If you have a 101, don't even think about it. You would be throwing away way more value by burning a 101. If you have a friend that has a 101, talk them out of it. That 100,000 points should never be seen. Instead, mythics, grails, royalties, legendaries, series, which are the coins, not the redemption coins, but the coins that are found in packs, ultras, epics, rares, uncommons, and commons, all can be burned for points, or I'm sorry, converted for points. And you can get on that leaderboard. I am waiting until the last 2 days. Whenever they put up the deadline and say this game's going to last 3 months, at the end of 3 months, at this exact date and time, we will take a snapshot. Well, that means people are going to be playing the game until the last few seconds. There'll be a lot of movement in those top 3-3. And even then, Walking Miracle says I'd only burn a 101 on the last day if it would make the difference. I don't think the value of a 1 of 1, which in my opinion is easily $500 to $1,000 for even the worst, meaning the least popular 1 of 1. I don't think any of them are bad. Hey, what's up, Cass Phoenix? We already said hi. Hi again. Did you leave and come back? Welcome back, Cass Phoenix. Cass Phoenix 9800. There you go. I'm saying your name. I don't think the value of a 101 should be given up for the 100,000 points. The 100,000 points is not worth the value of a 101. You would be better off spending your money to buy some grails, legendary stuff that you can actually replace if you wanted to. Yeah, I'd only burn a 101 if I had a duplicate. Darth Wacko, but don't bump. I love it. But anyway, I don't play till the last 48 hours. Sit back, watch, see how the game plays. When we get to the last 48 hours, that's when you can start actually doing some math and going, where am I? What would it take? Would it be worth for me to give up? The way I position myself is I put most of my money into buying rares, uncommons, commons. I already have a bunch of epics, ultras, stuff like that I could potentially put into the game. I don't want to burn any mythics, any grails, any royalties, any legendaries. Series coins I'd burn. I think the people that went after the coins, I thought they were a little silly. They made the right move. I was wrong there. They absolutely made the right move. But wait till the end. Don't make early moves or else you'll regret it when you give up all those NFTs. Because some people call the commons, uncommons, rares, epics, the things that don't get you a pop, they call them trash. We're about to prove they absolutely are not trash. And when season 1, the playing field, when it's over and the dust settles, we're going to see a change in the value of all NFTs across the board. And commons, which you could pick up for a penny before, 5 cents at the lowest on Droppp Marketplace, they could be worth 10 cents now. And you might go, well, who cares? I care if I bought them for a penny and I have several thousand and now they're worth 10 cents a piece. Well, I made hundreds of dollars. Same thing goes for uncommon, rare, epic. We could see a 10x on some of these NFTs, meaning a 10x in value. And that's, in the long run, I'm a collector. the value to me is also important. The coolness of it, the pop culture of it, all that. But the value still has a big, very important part of my collecting. Red Ranger says the question is, will the Freddy be worth more than 500? Sadly, I think not. I think it might be on the first days when it hits the market. Personally, I think I would rather sell a Grail for a couple of $100, turn that into cash, and then buy this pop off eBay when the dust settles. I could be completely wrong. Only time will tell. Will there be any curveballs in the game? We don't know. What will Season 2 be, and how will it be played? They could change the rules drastically. They could change the points drastically. We don't know. We're going to find out in time, but I think making early moves in this game is a bad idea that I'd recommend against. I'd tell you all not to do. The way the game's set up, it does not benefit you to do anything on day 1 or even day 30 or 50. Doesn't benefit you whatsoever unless they start giving away some kind of weekly bonus to people based on the standings, which would be cool, but I don't think they'll do that. Darth Wacko said I could give up my dream of collecting every series coin and use those to my advantage. I have a bunch. Give up your dream of collecting every series coin? That's not that difficult of a concept, Darth Wacko. I think you could totally. I think it's very achievable. Yeah, my coin collection went 50x overnight. Exactly. Because in this season, notice the wording, in this season, the series coin has really good value, 200 points per coin. And there are more series coins than there are even commons right now. So those who made early moves on the coins, the series coins, chose wisely. Not letting the FOMO get you is key. Agreed. Yep. Darth Wyko said, never going to know what the future of the Season 1 pop is until they reveal the Season 2 pop. Exactly. Nadu said, see how others are playing before you jump in. Yep. I think you guys get it. For those of you who are watching along, maybe our new friends over on YouTube or TikTok or anything, this is very interesting. I think it's what Funko is doing is pretty amazing. They are the pillars that are holding up Wax right now. And as long as they continue to build on Wax, if crypto and NFTs pick back up, which I believe they will in the future, Funko has positioned themselves to be the king of all of Wax. They pretty much already are. But looking back, all of us OG collectors will look at our collections and laugh at how silly it will be one day, the value of those NFTs. The possibilities are limitless. They have said, I believe it was hinted at in this article or somewhere in here, that the season would be several months. Let's see if we can find the verbiage in here. I'm just gonna search for month. There, nope. So it wasn't in here, but it was on their Discord, I believe, that they said it would be like 3 months. And on the early viewing, one of the images they shared of what the Droppp arcade leaderboard would look like, it had Season 1 remaining time, and it indicated it was several months long. Even if they change that to 1 month, my concept, my approach doesn't change. I'll wait till the very end of that 1 month. Once we have those dates, we'll start making plans. And honestly, I think I'll probably stream for the last hours of Season 1 to let's look at it live and let's see how right or how wrong we were. I have no problem with being wrong if I'm wrong. This is all my theories, but I think a lot of this is you guys are agreeing, you're confirming. Folks like Pop and Stock and Jasp, I have great respect for their knowledge in this space as well, and I think they agree. If you disagree, let me know. But there are far less series coins than common. Okay, I was incorrect there. I was incorrect. In Toy Story, for example, there are 177,901 commons. Oh, okay. So an individual common times 3,000, but there are 25 commons versus a series coin that has 5,000. You're absolutely right. There's a lot more commons. Sorry. There are less individual common than series coins, but because you multiply by how many commons there are a lot more. You're absolutely right. Yep. I somehow went from sitting at 332 to 331, haven't done anything. Well, somebody above you may have sold something. They may have sold some of their stuff away. We're just assuming I'm always here listening now. No, not at all. It was a shout out. It was a sneaky shout out is what it was, Jasp. No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you being here always. By the way, Jasp, I shared a tweet. See, look, this works. I shared a tweet. Jasp put out a really cool chart, an animated a video showing time lapse, essentially. I'll get to the words. Showing the change in things since Droppp Arcade. Look at this. This is very interesting. This is a chart showing the activity on February 28th across all of the Wax blockchain. And then what started happening after Droppp Arcade details landed. And all those connections, all those bubbles show collections that are selling on the blockchain. And then all those connections are, you know, the people buying this one, also buying that one, buying this one, also buying that one. Like, and it's showing how the Funko, look at the amount of activity. A web of activity that happened once Droppp Arcade was, I won't say fully announced, but mostly announced. I still think there's some curveballs that may be coming our way. I don't think we have all the info yet. Very interesting, right? The amount of activity. Starting from pretty quiet with dungeon items, which is Wombat Dungeon Master, Faded Monsuda, Twitchy Tides, and I can't read at the bottom there. What were the biggest collections, and then how it flipped overnight. And this, I assume, is just on Wax. For Droppp Marketplace, I can only imagine what they had, what they saw as well with their data for the sales, the amount of sales and all that. Bob and Sock says, I don't always understand Jasp's charts, but I find them relaxing to watch. This actually does track Droppp as well. That's so cool, Jasp. Yeah, amazing. So cool. If you guys haven't seen that, you know, check it out. It's on Twitter. I shared it. But also, be sure you're following Chain Champs. We've got a lot of tools that are disposable, not only for playing this game, but for the regular day-to-day game of collecting Funko NFTs. So, you know, you got Pop and Stock, huge. You got Chain Champs, huge. You've got Climbing Moon's website, huge. You've got Droppp Marketplace itself. You've got Atomic Hub. Something cool. After the last stream, or one of the last streams, Patrick from Droppp sent me a message, and he said, did you know that this exists? And I was trying, on Atomic Hub, I was trying to look up, can we see what the activity on all the Funko projects is? But you couldn't find a space that just says, show me all Funko, because each one of their different ones, like if it's DC, that's one project. If it's TMNT, that's another project. They all have in common, though, that they end in .funko, so you could build tools or whatever you wanted, but there is a kind of a secret page called Funko.atomichub.com. And I'll drop that in the chat for you guys as well. But it shows... Oh, that's not it. Where is it? I know I had this. It's Funko.io, of course. Funko.atomichub.io. There it is. And this is like a... this is like a hub for all Funko projects. I'll drop this link over on YouTube and on Twitch. For those of you who are watching and want to check it out yourself. Now, it doesn't have a lot of fancy charts and cool info that I'd love to see, but it does, like, hottest projects in the last 24 hours. You see all the Funko ones broken out separately from everything else. So Adventure Time is still #1 right now. Isn't that interesting? Why would Adventure Time be #1 right? I don't know. Funkoween right behind it. DC, Turtles. Notice these are not projects that are currently in the stage of collecting. Adventure Time might be, but we're not in the process of collecting for royalty sets or even redemption coins. You got to get all the way down to, the first Avatar is picked up some speed. Now, there's not a lot of money. Look, 12th place only had $7 in activity over the last 24 hours. And Adventure Time only had $200. Just a few sales could make that difference. But nonetheless, I would have liked to have seen this the day after Droppp Arcade was announced. This page right here would have been very interesting. You can also come down here and see, you know, here's the individual collections if you want to zoom through them and look at the market. The recently sold NFTs. It's all interesting stuff. I love the data, but I didn't know that page existed, and Patrick told me about that, so I think that's pretty cool. Another great tool for low mint number purists is Scarbore's website, nft.eseller.ca. I don't know about this one. Oh, no, I have been here before. I think via Digital Pop Kingdom. I checked out this site long ago. Let's look at something like, I would be interested in Back to the Future low mint numbers. Let's see what that shows us. Oh, yeah, this is your set rankings based on your NFTs and their mint numbers. Do I appear anywhere on here? Probably not. No, not on this board. You can see when it was last updated. There's a legend, if it has a little star, new on the board this week. Double-digit royalty set. Oh, that's cool. So if your entire royalty set has all double digits as the lowest mint number, oh, that's cool. Double-digit mastery set. Some people are really chasing those low mint numbers. So somebody like, Jeff Las Vegas, we know is a big collector, is number 1 in royalty set rankings. Average mint number, I assume, is 96.133. Is that what that number indicates? Average mint number? Oh, there's a little I button, little information. If I need to explain this, you're an idiot. Oh my God. Oh, what a shot. You got me when I was live on stream. Wow, I'm an idiot. Leaving work, going to lurk. All right, Callard, be careful on your way home, sir. Tech said, have we gotten any update on the official Droppp Arcade commencing? No, nothing yet. My guess is this week, though. And I'm basing that, right? They got me, Tech. I'm basing that on the fact that Avatar was announced accidentally, or the information was put out and then taken back, to have originally gone live today. It's been 2 weeks since the last Funko drop, right? Would have gone live today, but they pushed it back a week. So either means Nickelodeon stepped in and said, we have a reason we want you guys to hold on. That's option 1. Number 2, Funko and Droppp may have found something they needed to reconfigure or redo, or a piece of art that was wrong or whatever, and a reason to push it back for a week. Or, and I think this is more likely, they decided this will be the perfect week to launch Droppp Arcade. And we don't want that conflicting, because we're going to get a ton of questions and silliness, and there's going to be a lot of fun activity to watch. We don't want to do that the same week as Avatar. So I think this week, I'm guessing, we'll see something about its go time, because they said it would be in March. So if it's not this week, I don't think it'll be next week. It would be the last week of March, but I think it'll be this week. I'm guessing. Justin Clayton has said, I saw where Doc from Back to the Future's value went up a good bit. Have you seen the same for the other? I haven't really been watching. Are you talking about the physical pops? I haven't really been watching to see what the change is. I would love to have a utility that's constantly tracking the post-digital market, something I'd like to build, so we can constantly see where that's at. I mean, the best you have right now is something like a HobbyDB if you were to build a set of all the NFTs separately. But I've found HobbyDB to be not a great resource lately. I often find a lot of eBay sales that are not included in their calculations. No offense to them. I'm sure there are reasons, maybe even some good valid reasons that I don't understand, but I've just noticed that it's better for me to look at eBay and look at closed sales. From the digital drop. So you mean the actual NFTs. So there's the NFTs and then there's the physical pops. You're talking about the NFTs. I have not looked at that either, but we certainly could. If I have to explain this, you're an idiot. The rating formula says the sum of all assets in the collection for specific rarities. That's the sum of assets. Oh, wow. Sum of lowest mint in the wallet of each template, number of templates in the set. Interesting. That's a very interesting calculation they have there, but that's cool to see, people chasing those lower mint numbers. Now, to your point, let's look at. I assume also that you're talking about the legendary NFT for Doc. Oh, Justin, you're killing me. Are we talking about the physical pops, or are we talking about the NFTs? I feel like we're going back and forth. You're talking about the physical pops. Okay, then I stand with what I was saying earlier. I don't track that closely. I scored a Vader pop yesterday for almost 50% of estimated value at Movie Trading Company because they priced it out for the wrong shared sticker. Oh, nice. Good job, Darth Wacko. Let's just look at the NFT, though. I mean, there might be something to looking at the NFT value of something like Doc, which is also, honestly, one of my favorite NFTs that we've gotten, because I'm such a Back to the Future fan. That Marty as Doc, Doc 1885, that's the one. what's that done lately in value? Let's this is looking on Wax, of course. We could look on Droppp as well, but there you have the value through the collecting period all the way to snapshot, and then tanks to next to zero because people see them as garbage, worthless, and we go, and even recently only selling for a little over $1, which is honestly kind of silly. In the last 1 month, only 3 sales that happened on March 5th. That's so weird that 3 happened in one day like that. Yeah, and it's still only, what's the cheapest one on the market? Oh, lowest listing right now is 130. That's why, because there are none on the market. That's the only one. If we go over to Droppp, we'd have to do a little more research over there, but we could see what it's doing on Droppp. Hope they send that one and not the shared sticker, though. Oh, Randy's saying to Darth Wacko? Nice. If we go to Marketplace, I still find the navigation to what I want to look like here not always the best in the world. It's so many steps where I feel like some filters. Maybe I don't know how to use the filters. Maybe that's on me. Back to the Future, Shop Collection. Oh, there you go, Darth Wacko. No waiting on delivery. Legendary, Doc. Okay, you can still pick it up for $1.14, but if we look at the all sales here recently, view all history. A few months ago, if you went back, this was post, right there would have been snapshot. $2.23 a year ago, down to 85 cents. Continued to drop. They would pick up to $3.46 as there were less available, down to 68 cents, down to 55, down to 40. Down to 40, there's 45, and then picked back up over the last 2 weeks. Are there a lot left on the market? Only 9. Only 9 of the docs. You can pick one up for $1.14 right now. That's not bad in my opinion. That's not bad. I guarantee if we charted every NFT, especially epics, legendaries, grails, then the last few weeks they've gone up. But what I wonder is how many people who have collected over the last 3.5 years as these projects have been live, how many people have no idea about Droppp Arcade? They have no idea. They haven't logged back into their account for a while. They can't log back into their account, whatever. Maybe, somebody passes and nobody else has access to their account. That could happen. How many NFTs are still trapped in a wallet where somebody's like, well, those are garbage now. I don't care. And if they knew about all this, they could log back in and go, I'm putting this up for sale on the market. I could make some money. Or how many people are just holding their NFTs with anticipation of seeing what happens during season 1, and then they're going to flood the market and try to make some money. I don't know. There you go, Darth. It's tough, Darth Wacko. I'd say watch them both. You can watch both on Chain Champs, either live or in the market. You could put up both of them and watch and see, what kind of deals come your way. Don't underutilize Chain Champs. Just fantastic option to watch. You could say, hey, show me all the NFTs for both of those live and see what pops up, and then you could tackle them. Sometimes people just they'll see the lowest one's $1 and they just want to sell quick and they'll put it up for 50 cents. I don't understand the mentality, but sometimes they do it. They just need a couple of quick bucks. They need to make a move, and you might be the one to take advantage. I don't know, I'm gone deep down the rabbit hole, but I'm excited about Droppp Arcade. Have been since it was first announced. Have always wanted something, at least in the ballpark of what Droppp Arcade's going to be. I had my own vision that I thought would be really cool, and maybe future seasons of Droppp Arcade will give us some more specifics, or will define the game a little more. I feel like season 1 is just wide open. It's a free-for-all. Everybody can dive in with all their NFTs. Everyone can participate. I feel like it's got to tighten up a little bit. Like in season 2, I would love to see, hey, we're only going to be talking about NFTs from these 4 collections, or we're only going to be talking about these specific NFTs. Here's a bounty board, and these are the NFTs that you want to chase. I want to see stuff like that, which makes it way more refined. But we always have to go back to the thought that they are in this to make money. That's not a dig at them. They're a business. They should do it. By leaving it wide open, a lot more sales can happen, and they get 8% of every sale on the Droppp marketplace. Justin said, I had to look up latest eBay sales. Doc physical pop sales around 175. Marty undercover 6 to 750. George McFly around 150. Griff 175. Lorraine 175 to 200. I remember when you could pick up Lorraine for like 20 or 30 bucks. Doc was like 50, 60, 70, but not 175. So I think definitely this has been a really nice. Like, we could look at what we could look at that would be really telling is going back to the Doc coin. If we went back to the Doc redemption coin, could be very telling of where we're at now compared to where we were at when all this was going down. There's Doc 1885 redemption coin. And if we look at the sales history, look at that. It was 125 when the redemption coin was out. Down to 118, 114. So even if you bought it then, which I think it was way cheaper at one point to buy just the legendary versus this, you get a nice return if it's sitting around 175 now. Keeps going up, Punk. Dang. The integrated chat window is it? Yep, Randy, we're aware. It's having some issues, so I'm using a different chat today. Funko University. I got rid of so many of these, and now I'm regretting it. I like the name, by the way. One, Funko University. Thank you for coming by. Two, wish you'd come by sooner. I wish you'd come by sooner. Yeah, I've been telling everybody since day one on this. When we first got in, we got in before the first Turtles drop as a community here. What's up, Mindy? How are you, Funko Lover 30? And from the get-go, I was like, this is huge. And still, my take on it is, and this is not, I'm never talking smack about Funko or Droppp. I'm just like, this is the facts, right? Funko stopped making true limited exclusives for the Funko shop. They used to be numbered 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pieces. They stopped doing that. Now they're just making however many. We don't know how many. The only way you can get a numbered low quantity Funko Pop is at the conventions occasionally. They don't even do that many. Maybe 2 or 3 per convention at the booth, limited to 2,000 or less pieces. And fun days. There are some other exceptions. I'm sure you could shout out 1 or 2, but that's where the lion's share of them come from a given year. And we're talking about maybe in total 50 or 60 pops in a year that are Freddy Funko related, or even licensed to other companies that are under 2,000 pieces, let's say. I would have to do some math. I could be above. Now, the introduction of NFTs 3.5 years ago with Turtles meant for every other week, basically, you're getting 5 on average NFTs that are all low quantity numbered. That is the sweet spot for collectability and value, right? The numbered stuff is always going to do well. It's just a matter of how long. And I've thought for the last 2.5 years that most everything NFT related is undervalued. When we got the first Turtles in, all said and done, I had spent like $500 out of pocket on the NFTs. I opened most of my packs, sold a few, so that I was really only out of pocket like 150, 200 bucks. And then the value in the pops I got in right then that day when we checked on eBay was over $2,000. So for 150, 175 bucks ish, I don't have the data in front of me anymore. I got $2,000 worth of pops, and I thought we are in this to win this. And then things kind of went, but it's starting to go. So I think there's great opportunities ahead. I see your comment there. Funko University says, being in New York, I couldn't get the earlier drops because of how many loops to get the wax. That's so frustrating. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I never understood why those states were so problematic. I'm glad that you can participate now, and it is a shame you were boxed out of those, but I still think there's a lot of opportunity to buy. The NFTs are going to go up in value. You can still buy those even pretty cheap for the closed projects that have already gone through redemption. It is still very easy to get in on a project and buy packs. There hasn't been a struggle to buy packs in a while. Like, I think we maybe had, what's one example? The Mythic packs are the only thing that have been a struggle to buy. And once those sell out, the flippers back out and allow us to walk in, and we can have the lion's share of the packs and the NFTs. There's really not much of a barrier right now compared to, if you think about it, what it used to be to get a Funko Shop exclusive or to get to a con and get to a booth and get one of those limited exclusives. It's just a matter of time. Case in point, over the weekend, I was at Emerald City Comic Con, and I got a chance to talk to Mike, one of the vendors there. I walked up to the booth, and Mike knew who I was. He remembered from the Funko days, and we chatted for a little while. He had some serious fire in this one case, and I noticed one Funko NFT pop, and I said, "Hey, is that the only one of those you have?" He goes, that's the only one I have left." He said, "I had a few people come up. I sold a complete set of Harry Potter. I sold some, I don't remember what the other ones he said were, but he rattled off a few of the NFT projects, and I was like, well, so I noticed that, what's up, Cass Phoenix? I noticed that around the con, I've only seen one other booth that had a NFT pop. And I thought maybe that's because those vendors weren't buying them and or didn't care. But what you're telling me, Mike, is they're selling. They're selling for good money. He's like, absolutely. He's getting them. He's selling out. People are coming to him and asking specifically for them. So while eBay and Mercari and some of those may not be showing the values that I'm hoping for, I think the demand is certainly there. And I think, like, if I were to open up a booth at one of the cons and take my 300 NFT pops I have, I think I could make a killing. I'm not ready to sell yet. I still think the upside is huge. It's just taking people longer to get there than I thought. Tech said Toy Story and Funkoween could have been a little bit of an issue to get packs for some with how fast it sold out. Yeah, I guess if you weren't here sitting when it went live, but for all those who wanted to get in, who were there at launch time, we got in, we got our packs, we could go back through the line multiple times. With all we know to have multiple windows open. We know how to max out on the number of dollars purchased each time. I don't think anybody, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody here who's on the ball and who's there when it goes live has had any problem getting the NFTs they've wanted for the last 2 years plus. The early drops like Turtles were a real struggle, but things have quieted. I don't mind if we get back to the point where it's a struggle to get the packs. That just means the demand is strong, and when you do get some, you're winning. That first Turtles drop was so fun. So fun. Not asking for financial advice, but do we still think Toy Story packs will go way up from where we're at now? I think so. I think there's great potential in those packs. I'm still sitting on 6 premiums, and I don't plan on selling at $50. I don't know where they were. Last I looked, they were just under 50. Let's look again. Going here, going unopened, going Toy Story. Currently selling $44. I think there's great value in those, because if you look at, and I haven't looked at these values lately, they may have dropped, but if we go to the catalog and we look, you got the Grail at $243. Now this is good, I guess. The legendaries have dropped, so if you're wanting to get in, you can. $50 for Buzz, $30 for Pterodactyl, $44 for Woody. Scud, one of the better performing Ultras, at $14. That's a deal. You can't buy an exclusive pop at a con for under $15, and those aren't even numbered. This one's going to be numbered. Coin at 49 cents, but let's look at these epics. 8, 8.50, 9, 8, 9, 9. Very, very accessible and good value right now. But think of the value when they hit eBay, Mercari, etc. The Grail easily could be a $300 pop. Buzz and Woody, minimum 50 a piece, but probably closer to 100, 125 a piece. You got a lot of Disney fans, a lot of Toy Story, Pixar fans who are going to pay because they don't want to play in the NFT space. They're going to pay what those are going to be worth. Look at Back to the Future, Doc. $175, somebody just said. Are you telling me Buzz and Woody aren't at the same level as Back to the Future Doc 1885? I think these are definitely in the same collectible sphere. Yeah, I agree with Funko University. I think Toy Story was a complete 10 out of 10 drop. It was a perfect drop. They did everything right. That royalty to me, Freddie Scud holding Woody and Buzz, that's $125, $150 pop at a minimum. And right now you can complete the royalty set for what is that? There's 10 epics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 epics at an average of $9 a piece. So you can complete this for right around $100. I think eventually that's going to be a $200 pop easy. Tech said I can definitely see Toy Story Premium going up to $75 like Dark Heart and Adventure Time Premium packs. I hope so. I hope so. If not, this whole system is still broken as far as value goes. The system's working great, but as far as value goes, people are just really playing it wrong, in my opinion. Darth Wyko says, crazy that an Epic is only $5 less than an Ultra, and you get nothing from an Epic. Why are Ultras so cheap? The Epics definitely, you don't get nothing. I mean, remember, that leads to a royalty set. But the Ultra, for some reason, people have it in their head that 5,000 is too many. But what they don't realize is 5,000 is actually very minimal compared to what Funko makes of a standard pop. They would never tell us full production run numbers. I heard the occasional rumor, but those are rumors and I don't feel comfortable speaking on them. But my guess is the average pop that you would see at a Target or Small Fart or Walgreens or whatever they have on their shelves, we're looking at 25 to 50,000 produced of that one. And man, oh man, that is a lot. So Scud at 5,000, it's all supply and demand, right? Right now, people are making assumptions based on the fact that it's 5,000 pieces that it's not going to have a lot of value. Once these shake out and get into hands for the people who don't collect NFTs, once the collectors have what they want, you give it a year, 2 years, 3 years, Scud becomes very highly sought after. You got to play the long game. Yeah, Funko University, I don't put a lot of stock in the NFTs sold on eBay or the pre-sales, as I call them. Like right now, we could go to eBay and we could look up, I had an eBay tab, I thought. If we go up here and we look up Buzz Lightyear NFT pop, you're going to see some for sale. I call these pre-sales. And there will be some. We could actually go to sold items, and somebody's probably bought one. They're $70, 65. What we see when we finally get to something that just came out, let's take something like Frankenstein. If we look at Frankenstein, or any of these really, look at this, 75, 60. These were up in December. Wait, where are the actuals? There we go. Look, Frankenstein $299 is how much it sold for once it started arriving in hands. $255, $270. If you go back, you had some sales at $249. That one actually lines up pretty good, but a lot of times these pre-sales are either wildly above or significantly below what they actually sell for once the pops are in hand. So what I'm saying is I don't trust those numbers. They can be a bit of an indicator of the popularity of something, but what I see when I look at those pre-sales sold is just people who are like, I want it, I don't want to play the game, I'll just take it at that dollar amount. They're not like really shopping. You can't really suss out supply and demand too well there. I like to see what happens in the months following the physical pops being in hand. I think that's when we really figure out the true value of something. Yeah, Red Ranger, 100%. Look at the early Pixar pops of like Monsters, Inc., a Toy Story, and what they're going for now, 10 years later. Bowler Dan says, I still have 8 premium and 32 standard packs. 3 epics for royalty. Wow, nice, Bowler Dan. You're going to be fine. You're going to make some money. I just put in to finish Beetlejuice. That drop was ruinous. Yeah, I have been holding out to sell some packs on Beetlejuice, and it hasn't done what I had hoped. But don't forget, tomorrow's a snapshot on Beetlejuice, so make sure you're prepared. Did you, Punk? Yeah, you got a great deal on that. We talked about that on that Frankenstein. Way better to sell after redemption. It has and it hasn't been. Funko University. A long time, several years ago, 2 years ago, we were looking at the value, which we're going to do in a minute. I'm going to unbox the latest pops I've gotten in. I've got in a couple of these to open that are NFT pops. For a while there, a couple of years ago, we would open them only to find out that the buying them in the tertiary market, what I call eBay, Mercari, all that stuff, had gone way down. And it was really disappointing because I was starting to feel like, well, I'm overspending on buying the packs and taking the gamble. But I always knew the value of the NFTs would eventually go up, and now we're starting to see that thanks to Droppp Arcade. So I didn't waste any money. It's just these haven't performed in value the way I had hoped. I think we'll still get there. It's just taking a lot longer than I expected. NFTs across the board. have taken a toll over the last few years because of the bad information and the negative attitude of so many towards NFTs in general. And we're finally we've got over that hump over the last year, I think. There's still some idiots out there spouting. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say idiots. There's still some people out there who are spouting, oh, they're bad for the environment, or they're just JPEGs. Like, shut up. That is old, outdated thought process. Crypto is dangerous. All investments and collections are equally dangerous. None more so than others, really. Look at sports cards. I've been getting back into sports cards lately. I started collecting in the 80s, and the value of like a Don Mattingly rookie card or Mark McGuire was going up, hundreds of dollars. And then we got into the 90s and the 2000s, and they fell out of favor with most people weren't really... there you go, Red Ranger. Most people weren't really into sports cards anymore. It wasn't as big a deal. They all tanked in value. They became worthless. Now... the last 5 years, things have really picked up. The sports cards companies have made much sexier products, much cooler stuff, autographs, jerseys in the cards that they were trying before, but now they're really doing a much better job at. Grading has come around and become a thing. Like, they have really taken off. And even my old garbage 80s cards they were garbage 10 years ago, if I send them off and get graded, I could have a several $1,000 card there that I had as a kid, you know. So I'm looking through mine now to see what it is. I'm a long haul guy. I'm gonna have pops in 5, 10, 15, 25 years still. Some of them may go to zero at some point, but I'm not going to give up because I think these things are cyclical, and will come back around even if they're not in favor at the moment. And I'm all about, like, some of the early pops I got now I'm selling for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 that I got for going to fun days. I bought one ticket and walked out of there with the equivalent of $20,000 worth of stuff. I bought a Sully flocked pop for $35 after SDCC one year. Now it's a $2,000 pop or whatever it is. I haven't looked lately. I'm down for the long haul, man. When I see value, I know value. It's just when am I going to be able to sell? And these NFTs are so cool, and there is value there. I know, I'm preaching. I'm sorry. I want to get to the unboxing, but I got to take a quick bio break. So let's take this opportunity for folks that are in the Twitchy Tides community or want to play. Let's run a quick game of Twitchy Tides for those of you who are hanging around. If you don't know Twitchy Tides, watch this one. Ask your questions, see what it's all about, and then you'll know for next time that you can jump in and play. Fourth Curator says Soapbox. Yep, I was there. Tech said, I seen an interesting commercial the other day about this older guy using his business for 50 years with cash only. And then when he took card payments, he had to give up 3% of his profits. So the commercial said way less fees than crypto banking. The slogan was pretty much crypto wasn't for him until it was. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, I get digging your heels in on your beliefs. I turn into the old fuddy-duddy on plenty of things. But I think you've got, and like, ask anybody in investment, in the investment world. Yeah, you can buy 5 stocks and take gambles and hope that they all go up. You might hit that one that makes you rich, but the odds are against you. You put your money in the S&P and you spread it out. You go just bet on the S&P and you spread out your money, and you may not make a ton of money in year 1 or year 2 or year 3, but it always goes up and it compounds. And so you're going to make money if you just wait. It's proved itself for 100 years. I think it's the same thing with collectibles. Not all of them are going to be winners, but you spread it around, and eventually, overall, you're probably going to win. All right, exclamation point play to jump in on this game. You guys jump on in. If you haven't played before, but you have a Wax wallet, you can do exclamation point play, leave a space, and put in your Wax wallet ID. And that'll get you in on this game. You don't even have to know what the game is all about. Just know that for 1st and 5th, I'm going to give away a prize. So jump on in, and then, hey, if you win, cool, we'll figure it out there. Let me take a quick bio break. I'll be right back, and we'll queue up this game, and then we'll get to the unboxing. All right, I'm back. Epcot meetup? That'd be fun. Have to share some dates and stuff here soon. I don't know what day we're going to Epcot, but I'll share and we can figure it out. Why is YouTube says I'm not even back yet? I'm not even in my chair. There he goes. How come it's not? I fixed all this right before streaming today to make sure the right screens were showing, and now it's not showing the right screens. So weird. I don't know why it decides to do whatever it wants to do. There we go. Okay. All right, I'll give you guys another 1 minute. I'm gonna give a Twitchy Tides pack to first place and fifth place. Do I have any? I'm trying to think if I have any packs that are like 5 or 10. If I have a 5 or 10, we'll give it to first place on this one. So give me a timer for 1 minute. What's up, Professor Josh? Sorry if I get on a soapbox about all this stuff, gang. I know many of you that are here regularly hear my same thoughts, but I think there are people that didn't collect the NFTs for a long time, and then when they finally did, they're like, Sully, I heard you talk about it enough. I got such a good concept, understanding of it all now, but I have some questions. And I hope that's the point we get to is, like, down the road, you guys will go, well, Sully was freaking right. These things are worth a fortune now. Thank God I listened along the way, or thank God I listened to a point and then asked the right questions and I jumped in. I want you all to be successful too. And if we're all, if we got hundreds of people in this community that are after it, and we're having fun, and we're collecting, and we're buying, and we're pushing the secondary and the tertiary market, we'll make it happen for real, right? It only takes a few hundred to make these NFTs successful. A few thousand, we're talking some pretty good money. And if we get to the point where tens of thousands of people are super excited about these NFTs, the value is just going to keep going up. We got to do our part to build that momentum. All right, here we go. We're going to kick this game off. Thank you, Fourth Curator. We're going to kick this game off in... Hold on, let me jump in. Why am I not jumped in? Play. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Was that a store today and finally bought a biddy pack pop? 89 Batman and Joker and Catwoman. My mystery biddy was the other Joker. I hope that was good, right? That was exciting. I love the biddy pops. I think the coolest thing they've done are those new arcade cabinets. I'm excited to get some of those. I think they're really cool looking. What a great little display. I saw them do a video the other day where they took the biddy pop out of the little pop box, put it in the arcade cabinet, put the little pop box in the bottom. Oh, thank you, Nana Pops. Appreciate you. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying collecting them if you can. I mean, it's not for everybody. It is, there's a cost, an understanding, access that can be problematic, but if you're participating and you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I don't know everything, but I about the NFTs, especially or with the Funko stuff. But if I do, I'm happy to share. If I don't, I'm happy to learn. I love to learn. I've not been as excited about collecting anything as I was the NFTs over the last, we're going on 4 years now. Really, really enjoy collecting. And it hurts me when people are just down on it. Like, if you don't get it, don't participate. It's that simple. Let us who are enjoying it enjoy it and love it. It sure looks like it. I don't know who they is in this scenario, but it definitely seems that the biddy pops have been successful for Funko. From the first time I saw them, I liked them a lot. And I love where they're going with these larger pieces that hold the biddy pops to make them like play action sets and stuff like that. My only fear ever is that they don't give it enough time to grow. It seems like they have with biddy pops. Right, Mocking Lazarus? That's how I am. I don't really buy the physical products much. Someone that was at Toy Fair? Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I don't buy the physical products much. I go through NFTs to get my physical products, but there are exceptions. If there's a Sully anything, I'm going to get it. If there's certain licenses, I'll go in and I'll get something. But I was at Emerald City Comic Con over the weekend, and the only money I spent was on Priscilla's exclusives. I didn't really get anything Funko, and to be quite honest, I didn't see that many Funko booths. It was great to find that guy Mike and talk to him about his sales and what he's been doing. Oh, I did find a guy at Evil's Toy Lair's booth as well that's making some really cool customs, and he made a custom for Nathan Fillion's character on The Rookie, and he got Nathan Fillion to sign it, and Nathan Fillion even shared it out on his account, which was awesome because he knows they've never made Rookie Pop, so he was excited to have one. And he made some other customs too. They've done Stargate in the past. They were doing, what was the other one? Oh, Alan Tudyk's character from Alien. What's it called? Resident Alien? I totally blanked on that for a second. He made a pop for him, and he got Alan Tudyk to sign one. He gave him one. He's doing some really cool stuff. He can't mass produce them because he'll get in trouble with Funko, but he can make a few, customs, and that's what he's doing, and they're great. Non-Funko related for Pi, how do we add existing Pi users? I think, who shared that? Was it Rad Cuban Gamer? No. Somebody shared that on Twitter with a screenshot. All right, we're down to 3. Our 5th place has already been picked. Do we get to first? Yeah, Pi has been gone down, but has moved up the charts on the amount of, oh, there goes Jedi, we just lost a Model X, has gone way up on the charts for activity. Whereas a lot of the coins are only selling, a few $1 million worth of coin, or a million plus is moving in a day. It's been billions. Hundreds of millions or billions is moving for Pi. So a lot of activity right now, which is a really good sign for the future of Pi. Okay, Mortal Wombats in first, and Antikilla 73. Anti-Killa 73 in first. Let me see what I've got for Mortal Wombats. If I have a 5-pack, I'm going to get it your way. And let me get this music back. Then we're going to do the unboxing next. If anybody has not played in Twitchy Tides before, if you're interested, it's a really fun game created by our friend Pop Paragon. There's a lot of different things you can do within the game, but the long and short of it is you can play the game with streamers or on their website. You can have your own fish, your own tank. You can blend and breed to get cooler fish. You can actually earn off the game. I wouldn't say you could make a ton of money off of it, but you could play it and actually play it in a way where you could make some money probably. Or at least break even. Like, I like the idea that I don't have to put in much money, except every once in a while, to continue to play the game. And I've really enjoyed it. Friday had some great luck on pack openings. And pulled, I bought a 10-pack. From inside the 10-pack, got a 25-pack. And from inside the 25-pack, I got one of the new Fusion NFTs, which we're going to get information on any moment now, I think. That is a single fish pack. Those are single fish packs. Do I have any more that are like 5-packs? Ooh, there's 25. I'm not at liberty to give those away right now. There's a bunch of... Tell you what I'll do. I won't make it a 5, but I'll go back all the way back to Series 2.1 and give you what's a bit more of a valued pack, because it's got some of those cool older NFTs in there. I'm going to send that to first place Vic Ventura. No, Adam's Toys. I got to hold those for prizes on our Twitter. I'll be launching another giveaway here soon to give away some of that stuff. 5th place, Anti-Killa 73. You're going to get a Season 4 or Series 4.1 single fish pack. It's yours to do with as you please. If you want to open it, cool. If you want to sell it, cool. Whatever you want to do. Send that over to you now. You're welcome, Mortal Wombats. Uh-oh, Comic Zombie, is it? Let's look at that. We'll have a bunch of people entering as soon as I get over here. But, let's see. Yep. At least now it says, sorry, there are no assets available to dig. That's good. Instead of just letting you dig and then get nothing. I'll ping Pop Paragon real quick. Nice, Mortal Wombat. Yeah, do it, man. Do it. I'm just waiting on Discord to open. For whatever reason, every time I open it, it like has to do, like it's installing again. And then it does all these updates and stuff instead of just launching and letting me opt for updates. Where did it go? Now it didn't even come up on screen. Love it. I just don't get why people love this program. Okay, I pinged Pop Paragon, so hopefully he sees it and can fix it up. The way Krabby Mike moves is extra destructive, and it's a great ability. So OP, LOL. Oh, nice. I don't even know what Lil Shred does with mine other than makes noises. Yeah, I don't know what his special abilities are, honestly. I think you can look at the attributes of the NFT in your wallet, and it'll tell you more. I don't think it's just the noise. I think it may push stuff away, but I'm not 100%. Okay, let's do this, gang. I got let's do a box opening, the physical pops have been delivered to me. Let's do that kind of opening, and we'll put up. I've got a secondary camera here. You can see my hand in real time that shows the pops up close, so we can have a little fun with it. Let me turn on this over here, bingo for TikTok, and then let me turn it on here for Twitter. There we go. And on the right hand side of the screen, I am going to put up YouTube so we can look at the pricing on this stuff. We'll look at Atomic Hub. We'll also look at the eBay and stuff like that to see where the values of these things are at. I love doing that because we learn from it every time. I should have kept better data. Would have been really interesting to go back and fill in, like, where were these a year ago and where are they now? Because it's going to be way tougher to get some of that value, some of that pricing. I got 2 boxes that came in. I'm still lacking the second half of my Universal Monsters. If it's not here, I may have had a problem. I did not get my Grail, which is problematic. Let's see what these are. This looks like... that's Ed, and Eddie stuff. So that other box may be the Frankenstein and stuff. If not, I'll have to reach out. There you go, Misty. Misty shared there's another place she can look. Yeah, the Cartoon Network, exactly. We'll start with there. I got, this box has 3 pops. As always, I didn't show the whole thing here, but the packaging is done really well by Funko. There were early complaints about the condition of stuff arriving. I have not had problems. The occasional box has damage. Don't listen to the few squeaky wheels that scream their packaging always sucks. It does not. They do a great job. Every pop in the box comes in the cardboard along with some foam to keep it minty. And guess what? Sometimes it still doesn't work, but you reach out to customer service and they replace it. Joe Skittles, what's happening? How are you now? I recommend keeping the cardboards. You can lay them flat. They're great for shipping out stuff to your friends or if you sell anything. I keep all this and I've used a lot of it. Mine had outside damage and the pop box was fine. See, isn't that great? That's amazing. First up, we've got the Ed, and Eddie royalty Freddy Funko as, what's his name, Johnny? Yeah, as Johnny. There's the box. From the front, looks like to be in fantastic condition. Up on top, which is usually where any rubber marks, wheel marks from the production process or scratches. Oh, that one's mint. That's nice. I always point out the same things. I love the foil embossing. I think it really makes this a premium product. These boxes are probably some of the last ones with just the regular black and blue before we're eventually going to get to like Aliens as the green, and there's some different colors for like the Valentine one and some slight variations to the box for Toy Story with the clouds. But so far, for pretty much everything we've gotten, the box has been the same. I think there might have been 1 or 2 exceptions, but we're about to start seeing some changes. The sticker on this one is really fun. This kind of reminds me of old Vans, the checker pattern or swatch. Love this though. And as far as this distribution goes, the sticker numbers are still not 100% correct. It still shows what could have been. For this one in particular, if I go to Pop and Stock's website, which is a great utility to have in looking at the stuff after you receive it too. If we go to, wait, what was this? Somebody just said it. It's not Ed, Ed, and Eddie. It was what? Cartoon Network? Cartoon Network, yep. So if we go to more options, go to the drop down, and we pick Cartoon Network, it'll take a second to refresh on his site. But you can come down and you can see the actual number distributed. So think about how many came out of packs, how many royalty sets were built, how many coins were turned in or given, and how many were turned in for delivery. And for the Freddy Funko as Johnny, originally said 2,400, but only 1,524 were actually distributed to fans. So that means nearly, 900 lower than what's on the sticker. We've long said we wish the sticker had always been correct, but luckily Funko has at least started this year with the last 3 drops going on 4, that the whatever is distributed will be the number on the sticker going out. So I'm super excited about that change. I think that's so key to the future of the values of these. On Droppp, if you go to activity and filter redemptions, you can find the tracking for your package. Oh yeah. I'm aware, Red Ranger. Thank you. I'm definitely going to check that if I don't have it. This pop is sick. The simplicity of it, and Plank having a crown is the cherry on the cake. Isn't it great? Look at this. I'm going to give the zoom in with the 360, but look at his little sandals. He's got on little flip-flops. Got on the baggy white t-shirt, holding his little buddy Plank. I mean, the art style, the hand. Look at the hand. That's a real alteration from a normal Freddy. To definitely give it that Ed, Ed, and Eddie vibe. And I'll put this on the 360 spinner so everybody can get a close-up of it while we look up some values. I love the detail of the pops, and it's so rare that you really get these, especially higher value stuff, out of box where you can take a look at it. So that's why I do this. There's no fear in opening these boxes. As long as you're careful, you're gonna be fine. Here's the steps I like to take. Let me close these tabs. I like to look at the value of the pop back when it was a coin, as an NFT, then as a coin, and then as we hit the market. This one, being a royalty, means I had to complete a set of commons, uncommons, rares, and epics. Therefore, there was never an NFT before the coin. It is absolutely mint in box. As soon as I put it back in, still mint in box. Don't let anybody tell you any different, Bowler Dan. People are like, oh, you opened it, it's ruined. No, it's not, it's fine. I don't understand people. I've done it my whole life. Those pops are still great. As long as you're careful, you're fine. Right, Walking Miracle is an easy thing to overlook, but it's so cool. Freddy Funko as Johnny. If we look at this chart here, we can see the value. It started off at about a $55 completion to get the royalty set, right? That went up a little bit and then hit a low of $36.22. So at one point, you could spend $36 in wax or Droppp or a combination of the two and complete the royalty set. That's amazing. But if we take out the high and the low, the high was 70, and we average it out, this pop was always about a $55 pop. Any guesses before I get Darth Michael, stop. There you go, Joe Skittles. Yep, because I'm going to put it back in the box, and it's still mint. Anybody have a guess on what it is now? I'm going to look up the coin next, but what do you think it is on the tertiary market, on eBay and Mercari? I'd love to hear your guesses. I'm going to look up the coin itself over here on Atomic Hub. So if we look up Cartoon Network, so you're thinking about the process. We completed the collection stage, and then the coins were introduced. You got your coins. You had 30 days to turn them in. Freddy Funko as Johnny, and then you got your physical delivery now several months later. The redemption coin, if we look at all, started at about $56. Couple of higher sales in the day after, but then we got to back about $55, with the lowest being $52. What do you think it is now? My $372 is way over the price. That's not accurate at all. Comic Zombie, you know better. He said probably 78. Nadu says 80. I'm gonna go 100. I think this is a really cool pop. I think some people just don't want to wait. They just want it in hand. So let's take a look and see what we got here. We got Freddy. Now, another part of this is, even whatever we see today, this is the early days. It's probably going to settle down a little bit, but it may not. So let's just keep that in mind. Freddy Funko, Johnny, Pop, and then we'll put NFT as well. You want to put less info, so let me actually take Pop out and put NFT, and let's see what we got. Okay, good. That's a good filter. These are green numbers. I already tagged, hit the filter for sold. So these indicate actual sales that changed hands. But if you look at the date, this January, these first two were like pre-sales, 80 and 90. So we're looking at an $85 pop, already a great return at about $35. But then actual sales, we come down a little bit. We got $89.99. So the first sale, $90 when it was actually in hand. And I don't see, here's an 80. So that makes it about $85. That was March 9th. So that was just in the last few days. Oh, is it Johnny with no H? It's Jonny. I wonder how many people misspelled that. Let's try this again. Does that change things? Hey, we got a few more here. So 90, 80, 90. So it's a $87 pop. I think somebody came real close to that number, if not exactly. 86 says Chuck. You cheated. You had to have cheated. If not, that's a great guess. I don't think you actually cheated. I think you guessed properly. So we're looking like an $87 to $90 pop on what you could have bought at one point for $36. So this chart, if you follow it and you see that drop one day, man, getting in then and buying one or multiple royalty sets, it's almost always going to pay off, right? I could list this right now. I think I have several of these royalty sets. I could list this and pay for a big chunk of what it cost me to complete at least one royalty set, and then I'm playing on house money. I'm not going to sell right now. I think the price on this will go up, but it'll be interesting to see. Now, if we take off the sold filter, what are people asking for it? 115, 80. That might be a good deal still. It says pre-sale. I don't trust it as much. I'd rather see one that's in hand. There's 88 with free delivery, 110, 80 with 871 delivery, 90. So, I mean, I think this one could be a $100 pop pretty easily. Pretty easily. That's a dope pop. I think it's awesome. I don't know anything about Ed, and Eddie, but I know I dig the mold, and I know Cartoon Network has a strong following, and people for a long time were asking for Ed, and Eddie pops, and this is one of the only ones we got. Pretty dope. That's a great pop. All right, let's see what else I got. I'm gonna put this one back. Yeah, I from the second we saw that one, I liked the mold. I was happy with that. Joe Skittles, trust me, always check your pops when you get them, because I've had to deal with many issues that I wouldn't have known about unless I opened them. Sounds crazy, but when you find out the issues and it's too late to get an exchange, yeah, absolutely. Be careful. There's a lot of bad players out there that are not going to do the right thing. It's a shame. People are people. All right, next one, and another trick. Don't worry about trying to disable or undo these tabs. You can have to put a lot of undue pressure on the box. Just take the tabs at the corners and pop them out. That one was already popped. And then you can slide this out without causing any real issues. And then you can pry these open. Sometimes the tabs will rip or whatever. Who cares at that point? The pop's in good condition. Put that over there. Let's put the foam over there. We got Samurai Jack, which I think I bought for like next to nothing. I didn't pull this out of a pack. I think I paid like 10 or 15 bucks for the NFT to get this because I was like, why not? At that price, might as well. Love, 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 love the inclusion of the NFT on the back. We got little rubber marks or something on there from the assembly process, but it's not too bad. It shows up on camera way brighter under that light than it actually is. But this looks great. I'll put the box up here before we take it out so you guys can see it. I think from the get-go, the quality of the box has always been great. Bam! Look at that. Almost like I designed it for that. This was your only pull. You know what I don't always do? Let's check this. Let's see if I go to... I'm going to go away from this just in case I don't want to dox any information about myself. Let me... Activity. And can I look Samurai? There we go. Did I buy this one? Yes. I did purchase this one for $16.45. That's what I paid for the token. I bought it and then redeemed it. I paid $16.45. Did I win? Let's find out. So if we go back over, here, let me get it out of the box and then we'll finish the research part of this. I've always loved the NFT box designs. If they ever make them for the Big Bang Theory, I'll be in trouble. Those would be, I think they'd be really good and very possible because the Big Bang Theory universe is going to get some more installments. They're making an HBO show now and bringing back a whole bunch of the secondary characters, which makes me think the primary characters may show up again. You got Aisha for 14. Nice. Oh, look at that. Love the like scars, the battle damage. Love the hair. I love the squared off vibe to the art already on these pops. That's so cool. Let's look up, this was also Cartoon Network. For some reason, that's not sticking. And we go to template and we look up. Now, this was an NFT first, then it was a coin. Let's look up the NFT first for Samurai Jack. There he is. That's the Ultra in this case. This was the Ultra, not a Legendary. And that's on the box. Says it big as day. Ultra, and for grins, how many of the Ultra were there? 4,264 were distributed. 4,264. We'll open that in a new tab. Let's see what the value was. This is on Wax. You could also look at Droppp under all sales to get some information, but it doesn't have a handy dandy chart, so it's not as helpful. The chart they have, wait, did I blow past it or something? There's the template. Oh, here we go. I blew past it. All. So this one on day one was $12.62. $17.50 was a high. $19.91 was actually a high. A low of $7.37. You could have bought this NFT for $7.37. That was, I mean, there were other days where it was around $10, $8.80. There was a lot of cheap ones for this because people see Ultra as garbage. There's too many and they let it go, right? I'm really anxious to see where this goes when we get to the tertiary market. Samurai Jack the coin, that's when I bought it, was at the coin level. Whoa, the first one sold for $24. What a big difference between $7.37 and that. Got down as low as $8.28, climbed back up to $19.76. Now, this doesn't represent a lot of sales. There was only one there, two there, one there. So like a dozen sales in total. Not a lot of activity in the coin stage, which always kind of surprises me. And then let's see what it is now. Any guesses? I think it's still going to do well when we get to this stage. Any guesses at the cost or recent sales? Recent sales on Samurai Jack NFT. I'm gonna go 45. I think 45 bucks. No, that's too high for an Ultra. 35. I'm gonna say 35. Yeah, Darth Wyko's on the same page here. Let's see. All right. This is asking price. Asking, we got $44.50 auction, so that's a starting price. For buy it nows, we got 50, 45. Actually, those are also auctions. 40 at auction, 44 at auction. Do I have auction? No, I got all on. Buy it now. Oh, that's not even the right pop. 65 on a buy it now. Wow. Let's go and see what it sold for. 30. One sold for $30. 24, but that was a pre-sale. This was in hand, the $30. Oh, it says pre-sale, so they just had it up listed still about the time these were getting delivered. Let's see actual sales here. Have there been any? 40, but that was a pre-sale. 50, but that was a pre-sale. $22.50. You still could have got it pretty cheap. Okay, here are your actual sales. $35. I hit it right on the nose. $39.95, 40, 35, 30, 35, 28, 40, 30. Average all those out, right about in that 35 range. I was not wrong. But again, what are the asking prices now in hand? $65. That's the only, and there's a set for 90. 38. That still says pre-sale though. I don't trust those. 300. And there's 13 watchers? What the what? Yeah, there's not a lot for sale, folks, but these just hit hands. These just got delivered for some people. So think about that return. You could have got it for $7.37, but you could have sold it for 40, 45. Absolutely not, Comic Zombie. Never financial advice. But I think it just further proves that there is the potential to buy low, sell high if you're watching when these things hit lows. If I saw that for $737, I'd have scooped it. I'd give it some time, and I bet their value will rise. Absolutely. Absolutely. These are still limited, and 5,000 scares some people off when you're talking about an Ultra. But who watches the Watchers? But the truth of the matter is, that's still a pretty limited amount. Not nearly as limited as the Grails, but it is limited. And depending on how big that fan base is, once everybody has in their hands the ones they're going to keep, we may not see a lot for sale on the market. I did get 2 Samurai Jacks, so I must have pulled one, or maybe I bought one off the Wax blockchain as well. I don't remember. I wish I could set something up that would easily pull that information. I could. I just need to do it. Those less popular ones cannot be flipped in Canada because they cost $20 in shipping alone. That's why their NFT price remains lower. Oh, all right. Yeah, it is. You've got an added level of complexity to your collecting for sure. If you're in Canada, well, any other country, really, it's added complexity. That's a shame. All right, this one's a little heavier. I think I did get a Moltar at some point, so this, I don't think this is my other Universal Monsters. That's bad. That's really bad. I have to put in, yep, this is also Cartoon Network, so I'm gonna have to fill out something to tell them I never received that package. I'll have to look at the tracking. Hope it didn't get stolen off my porch or something. All right, we got another box of 3. This is also going to be Cartoon Network. I did get the Moltar because I liked the mold. I don't know anything about Moltar. I do know Space Ghost. I do know that recently the voice of Space Ghost passed away in the last week or two. There is Moltar TM from Space Ghost. I like the blocky look to this character. I like fringe characters when I can get them. Some minor scratches up on top there that really they show up worse under the light than they actually are. There's Moltar. Let's take a look and then we'll open the box up where a Moltar is. First we'll start with Pop and Stock. Moltar says on the sticker, is it what, 2,500 maybe? No, 1,900, but only 1,646 were actually delivered. So if this had been a recent drop, it would say 1,646 on there. Then let's go check Moltar over here. That's such a cool NFT. If you pulled that one, I think this was for New York Comic Con. Yeah, to get special. I forget what all you got if you won that, but that person ended up getting a proto. I think it was like passes to the booth or something. I forget what it was exactly. But that was really cool. They could go and alter the NFT after the fact to say redeemed. So that person who got it, who's holding it, their NFT actually changed, which is pretty dope. There's Moltar. It was a legendary. Let's look at the pricing on this one. I bet it's less than Samurai Jack. That's my guess. Where'd the chart go? Why do I keep having a problem finding this ding-dang old chart? Is it taking longer to populate? There it is. Yeah, it's taking a while to populate. That's why. Okay, this started at over $21 for the first sales. Dripped all the way down to $10.82. So it actually didn't get as low as Samurai Jack did at any point. The high was $21.72. The low was $10.82. Then it went to the coin. In that stage, as the coin... Come on. Still filling in the data. $15 was the low. Nope. $13 was the low. Then went up to $18.47. So similar to Samurai Jack. Let me get it out of the box, and then we'll look at the sales now. Anybody got any guesses on the tertiary current value? Oh, I like the pose. It was hard to make out what pose it was really on a glance. He's got his little hand up. You can see it on the front of the box too. I just missed that before. In the NFT, he just got his hands down by the side. But I like that. And the one hand back behind him, that's a good one for just the backs. Moltar. And here we are. Oh, wow. Asking. This is asking. Black numbers, not actual sold. $100. $50. That's a big range. $60. Those are both with like $10 delivery. So actually, this one's over 50 across the board. If we look at completed, what ones have actually sold, this was 55 recently, 65 recently. Then we go back to pre-sale. Somebody bought $300 they paid for this? What? Wow. That is crazy. Somebody did not do any research whatsoever, or that was fake just to hype up the price. Other pre-sales were 40 and 28. So this one actually has even better returns than Samurai Jack. A popular character for you, Joe Skittles, huh? Wow, good returns on this one. If you got this one, you could have easily tripled your money. Not bad. It says read description. Yeah, well, it's a pre-sale, so I don't expect it to say like it comes with 8 other things or anything. I think it's just going to say like won't deliver it until we have it in hand, blah, 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 blah. No cancellations. 1 Moltar pre-sale. You'll receive the physical pop Q1 2025. As soon as I get it, ship it to you. Yep, nothing surprising there. Yo, what's up, Shepard? How you doing? Yeah, I mean, if I thought it was like, you know, because it's such a high price, if I thought it was anything worth that made that jump to 300, I would have looked, but I didn't expect much, and sure enough. I'm doing great, Shep. Thank you. I appreciate you. So there's your Moltar. Sorry it's a little blurry. I don't know why this thing... It's crystal clear on the phone. I must have blown it up too big on the screen. But that's Moltar. That's kind of impressive, honestly, that one's going as high as it is. Now, again, these are the first sales right out of the gate. Those are usually higher. I can see that one settling down to a $40, $45 pop pretty easily, but still double the value, if not triple, depending on where you got it. If you're watching those lows, you could have picked it up cheap. 2 more pops. I think I got more of the Johnnies. This one's heavier. Did I pick up multiple Moltars? This one was partially opened already, so. Oh, no, this was, I actually got one of the other ones. I didn't realize I got this one. The Robo Dexo 2000. Whoa, that's a heavy pop. This is a hefty boy, and it didn't even shut all the way. That's a hefty pop. I love these big in-box pops. Some of my favorites. Actually, it looks to be in really good condition, considering the fact that the top was left open and it was still in the box. I don't see any scratches or bends or bent corners. This is a big, hefty pop. And it's one of those where it's got the full front as well, which I kind of dig. Whoa! That is such a cool pop. Holy shnikes, look at that build on that thing. Is gigantic in the box. This is bigger than the Star Wars Deluxe, and it fit in a normal size box. big head. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty. That is a very cool pop. All right, let's do the research. RoboDexo 2000, 1,659 pieces were sent out. That was the most of any of the legendaries, or of course the Grail. So there's a few more of these on the market, but it's not a giant difference, 15-piece difference, something like that. And if we come down, let's get rid of these tabs. We don't need them. If we come down to RoboDexo 2000, and we look at it when it was the first, just an NFT that came out, not the coin. We come down to sales, and let's hit all. This one started at 30, 36 actually. Oh no, 29. There it is. 36 does not jive with where that is in the chart. We had a high of 39. There was a 34, and we had a low of $19. Good pickup at $19 somebody made. Then we had the coin. Once the coin was put into people's grubby little paws, what did they do with it? Did it have good sales? What did that make the average? About $30 on that one. About 30. In the coin stage, started at 44, dipped down to 33, 39, only 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sales total in that whole window of time. But again, an average price on this, it went up to about $35 average. What do we think it is now? I'm going to go 60 on this one. I think this is going to be a really good pop because it's such a cool mold. And I don't think there's any other pops of RoboDexo 2000, are there? Doesn't look like it. We're only seeing NFTs. Early sales, pre-sale $75, pre-sale $45. How did they have on February 18th a picture of this pop on carpet? That's way before the deliveries took place. That's interesting. Wonder where they got the photo, or did they have the pop in hand before deliveries? Could this be an employee or something, maybe? I don't know. 70 just in the last few days. What did I say, 70? I think I said 70. Yeah, I said 70. Let's take that off. And let's look at what's up for sale right now. Why does it switch? I don't want this grid. I want this list view. Okay. Asking, blurriest photo ever, 50. Auction starting at 99. This is a great one for you to keep an eye on. Chances are that's going to sell for well under the final value. Remember, I say this all the time, but it's 100% true 95% of the time. Think about that. Starts at 99 cents. The auctions are for buyers. Buy it now is for sellers. So if you're looking to pick up on some of these, you might even buy them at auction, turn around and put them up for a buy it now, make yourself a little side income to pay for some stuff. Or maybe you're just looking for good deals to add them to your collection for the long haul. If you're really, really wanting to hold out, this is the kind of thing to keep an eye on. $9 delivery. First, though, before you do anything, check the listing. Make sure it's authentic, that the pop is in good condition, that they have it in hand, that they have a good history. It says top rated plus seller. That's a good opportunity right there on that one. This guy's listed for 150, 65, 70. This one's a sleeper hit right here. That's a $70 pop. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it looks so cool. But what's interesting is none of these folks are showing it out of box. And I think that's what really sells this pop. None of these photos are showing it out of box. Mocking Lazarus caught my joke. That's a cool pop. That's a very cool pop. And we're looking at a $70 pop. And you could have got it for $30 when it was an NFT. So the pattern is holding now. We're seeing pops go for much higher than their average as an NFT and a coin. A year or two ago, that wasn't the case. A year ago, we were like, they were dropping. They were going lower than the value, and it was making it a bad situation to want to invest in the NFTs. It was almost better to just hold out and buy them off the tertiary market. Alex says, do you have any suggestions on how people outside the U.S. can save on the shipping fees? I mean, if you get approximately 3 redemptions every drop, it's about 1,100 USD per year only for delivery. Sadly, Alex, no. Here's the deal. I know everybody sees shipping as the devil, and it is a very big expense. But you got to remember, from a business standpoint, Funko has to pay that too, right? The shipping. Even though they get heavy discounts, they still have to pay extra to ship it out of the country. And I think it's just gotten worse over the last few years. So I don't think there's any workaround for you, honestly, other than have them delivered to a friend, and that friend work out just the best possible shipping deal using something like Pirate Ship, or if they have a friend that works at a company that gets a deep shipping discount and they're willing to pass that on to you. But that's tricky, right? Yeah, we're conditioned for free shipping in the Amazon Prime world, and so we think it should be free all the time, but it's not. There's a lot. You got the companies have the manpower, the equipment, the gas. As gasoline goes up, so do the shipping costs. Now you got these tariff fees. If stuff's coming to us, we have to pay tariffs, but in other companies are matching that because they're pissed at us. So like Canada's going to be putting tariffs on stuff. It's going to get worse, not better. For right now, I think your best deal is just to take it directly from Funko at the whatever $15 to $30 they're charging to get it to you. I don't think you're going to do much better. But I could be wrong. I don't have to deal with it, so I don't research it regularly. Probably better to pay that shipping than getting them for higher prices in the markets once they are in hand. Yeah, agreed. I think if you really want to maximize it, you would get multiple pops delivered at once, and maybe, in your investment part, get a couple extra pops that you can sell to cover the shipping, right? You're still going to pay shipping on those, but I imagine the markup in like Canada or somewhere else is going to be really good. You can make your money back. People from USA were used to paying $9.95 when buying on Funko Shop. They should have kept that base fee instead of making it free and not overcharge people outside USA by so much. Yeah, definitely from a Canadian, I can see that perspective. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not going to get better, sadly. It really kills me that Canada, and I'm leaving all the politics and the recent stuff out of this, but it's always killed me that Canada connected to us, or Mexico, but Canada more specifically, because it comes up more often, connected to us. Literally a truck drives across land. There's no boats involved, no airplanes necessarily, and just because you're going from one country to another, they've had to pay such exorbitant fees. I can totally understand it going to Australia, but I tried to ship a small box to Australia a couple of years ago, and it was going to be $75. Shipping is just shipping, right? It's a necessary evil. I know not the answer you wanted to hear, but it's the answer I have. And then I got another Freddy as Johnny. You've been saying this for ages, nothing connected to current specific. Yeah, true. You pay 20 USD for the first item you redeem and an extra 10 for each additional. I have 13 pops for Halloween season 2, and it will come to 140 bucks. Kind of sad. I mean, honestly, still take those weights and estimate a box size, and then go and look up what it would cost you to ship from where Funko ships to you. Look that up, and you're gonna see it's way more than 140 bucks. It's probably $200 to $300. So you're actually getting a discount through Funko. They're basically charging you their cost plus a little extra. It doesn't seem like it, but if you did the research, if you looked it up, you're going to see that it's much more than what you're actually paying. It's sad. It's a shame, but it is. Shipping has costs. These are hard fixed costs. Plus gas and stuff that's a variable cost to these shipping companies like FedEx, UPS, DHL, USPS, the Canadian Post, whatever they call it there, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and they're passing on to you a discount. It may hurt, but again, you could take, if you had those 15, however many pops it was from Funkoween, you could sell one or two and cover those costs. You probably don't want to, but maybe just for the business of being you, it makes the most sense. Imagine Mike says, cost me less to ship something to BC, British Columbia from Ontario than to NYC, which is less than 200. Yeah, just because of that line. Shipping to Alaska and Hawaii is still within the US and doesn't cost us anything extra. I was shocked when I found that out a few years ago. I thought shipping to Hawaii was going to be crazy, but it's the same. It's the same. Even though it has to get on a big boat and go, nope, going out here. Even though it costs them more for USPS to get it there, we pay the same. Tariff war is not in our favor. Hoping for a quick resolution. It would be best. Did I see the Pokemon card we pulled for a cut? No, Ernest, I didn't see. I did see y'all's reaction on a video, so I guess I did see it, but I don't know enough about Pokemon cards to know how big a deal that is. What value are we talking about? How much does something like that sell for? But then they win in hand, one pop on the market will be that much by itself, says Joe Skittles. International shipping cost is also due to duties and other taxes. Yep. A $1,200 plus card. Wow. That's so cool. That's so cool. If graded more, you think it's a gradable card? Do you think it could get some a high grade? That's exciting. That's really exciting. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like the good lottery of a pack, of opening it up? It's so awesome. I mean, it's free in the US, so that's how I have to pay about the same price a regular Grail costs. I mean, Alex, I know it doesn't seem like it, and you probably think I'm full of it, and that's fair, totally fair. But you're actually getting a good value. Their shipping costs for Funko to ship a box like the one I just got, like this. My guess is with their discounts, which may only apply to domestic, not international for them. The discounts they get for international may not be as good, but I bet this costs them maybe $6 or $7 to ship. Maybe, because they ship tens of thousands of boxes, and so UPS or a DHL or a FedEx gives them an 80 to 90% discount off of retail. It's how it's worked from my experience with other companies. I don't know what Funko gets specifically. I wasn't involved in that part of the business. Whereas their international shipping, they don't get as deep a discount. They probably only get 50 at best, and they're passing that on to you. So I still think, like, you compare, if you went into your own, say, pirate ship or something, and you plugged in for your 15 pops, figure out the box size, figure out the weight, calculate that, you're looking at $200 to $300 in shipping. I bet. I could be wrong. But for you, the exercise of comparing it, you'll see, oh, well, they in fact would have paid $200 to $300. If you go to UPS or FedEx and price it, oh man, it is so high. I see people all the time walking into the post office or the UPS when I'm dropping stuff off, little old ladies and guys that live here in the area, and I see them walk to the counter and go, hey, I'd like to ship this to Canada. And I'm like, oh, don't do it here. No, you're going to pay so much. Go home, learn how to use a computer, weigh it, package it yourself. They don't know. My mom was one of those for a long time. She would ship it herself. She'd go to USPS to send stuff to my brother and pay $80. And then I showed her, I'm like, I can get you the same shipping for $25. You just box it yourself, buy a scale. It's going to pay for itself in one use. Buy a label printer if you need, or send it to your regular inkjet printer. Yeah, don't do it. Fourth Curator, you can still save yourself so much money by going through Pirate Ship or some of those other services. I see what retail is, and I choke on it. It's crazy. Pack ripping is addicting, says Shepard. 100%. Nadu said, yeah, that Pokemon card is just shy of $1,300. I hope the person decided to get it graded. Yeah, me too. Hey, Army Guy, what's up, bud? No, I won't be going to WonderCon. Not in the cards this year. Budget-wise, and we have a family trip coming up, which I need to allocate the little bit of funds I do have to that. So no WonderCon for me this year. I'm kind of bummed. I wanted to see Rocky Moto or whatever else Mike and Dave have out at that point. Yeah, if they privatize shipping, it's going to be interesting. But I've noticed that the USPS is working directly with Amazon. A lot of the UPS packages are getting handed off to USPS. There's a lot of partnerships in play already. So maybe if they do privatize, it may not be as bad as we think. At least not at first. Eventually it'll get horrible. But Twitch showed a KFC ad just now, and I'm hungry. Oh, that's dangerous. Dan Asher says, sent you a DM on the old TwitX over the weekend. Should have stuck to Discord. Oh, that's weird. I've been in Twitter and I didn't see anything, Dan. That's really weird. I was in there over the weekend. How did I miss that? I'm looking right now. I don't see anything, Dan, in my inbox. Wait, I have requests. That's in a separate area. Yep, there you are. There you are. Sorry about that. Let me accept you. I didn't even know they were held. My bad. Pops asked me to reach out. Oh, I shouldn't read this out loud. Yes, I do want to do that. I do want to do that. I'm excited about it. I'm sorry, Dan. I really am normally really quick on those. I didn't know it was held in a separate area. Any ECCC stories? No, I think I shared pretty much everything. No, I didn't. I did go to the Sunday. I went back. I got up early and drove down, met up with Jungle Bry, and we went to the Firefly panel. We got there, walked in. There was really no waiting line. They were already shuffling people in. We got a decent seat, a third of the way back. There was a VIP in the area, which some people were able to move to later, but it was pretty full, so we just stayed in our seats. And man, the Firefly panel was just chef's kiss. It was so amazing. Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk, Gina Torres, Summer Glau, all there on stage. I really wish we'd had Jewel State and Adam Baldwin as well. And of course, Marina Baccarin, who had to cancel the con for whatever reason. But still, some great stories from the cast. I was meaning to look in the last 24 hours online to see if the full video has been posted, because I'd like to watch it again. Kelly has not watched Firefly, but I think I convinced her to. So after she watches it, I want to go back and watch some of the different panels they've done over the years. But the best thing that came out of that, and I tweeted about this, was that Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk leaked that they will be doing a podcast. They've already recorded some episodes. Hey, Super Jen with a raid! Thank you, Super Jen. I appreciate you. I can't hear the music. I hope you guys can. I love that raid video. Yeah, they got a podcast coming called Once We Were Spacemen. And those two together are always amazing. They're so funny. They're really good friends. They play off each other really well. I saw at least one panel where it's just the two of them, and I was in stitches. So I can't wait to hear this podcast. It's my most anticipated new anything, really, outside of a couple Marvel movies and stuff that are coming out. I can't wait. No date on it yet, but I can't wait. Until the full end-to-end of shipping anywhere can be 100% automated, these are the prices and conditions. Yep, absolutely. I deal with students who live in Canada, says Chuck, and when they take the laptop we give them over the border, I have to tell them to throw the box out or Canada will charge them taxes. Interesting. So if they carry it over in the box, they think it's a retail new something they just bought. That's a good pro tip. Twitter was down yesterday. Nah, it didn't have anything to do with it in this case, but could have. You might have been right. We at the post office are fighting privatize. I would imagine so. The one thing that I find really interesting about our U.S. Postal Service is, and I highly recommend, even if you don't care for his politics and stuff, watch the Last Week Tonight with John Oliver about why the post office loses money. I imagine Mocking Lazarus and other folks who are in that know about it, but the people are always complaining and saying, oh, the post office is losing money. They say we should raise the price of stamps, we should raise the price of packages, etc., 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 right? I have no problem with the raising the prices to combat inflation and stuff like that. But years ago, when the post office was very profitable, and they were able to pay all their employees really well and update their buildings and all that stuff, there was some sort of bill passed that took a huge chunk of the post office's profits and used that in the back end for something else. I forget what it was, but we're talking millions, if not billions of dollars. All of a sudden just got sucked out of their profits and put into something else. And since then, the post office has lost money. But they haven't. They've still been successful in their sales. They're doing fine. We buy a lot of stamps. We send a lot of stuff through USPS. And honestly, those shipping costs compared to UPS and FedEx aren't bad, usually. Sometimes the UPS is a little more competitive these days. But it's just insane that the American people just think that the Postal Service is losing money when it's really not. It was some thing put in place by the government to steal that money and put it somewhere else. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Is it pension? But it's pension not related to the USPS. It's absolutely nuts, man. Yeah, watch that episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and I just can't believe we haven't. Maybe that's something Doge will fix. I don't know. Not to get political. I know some people that really triggers them, but my Samurai Jack NFT had a big thumbnail window dent, so I immediately emailed Droppp support. You got to handle it quickly, Randy C. They'll take care of it. Dan said, let me know a time that works and we can walk through it. Okay, yeah, we'll do. I might do that this week, actually, Dan. I might. Let's see what else I got going. No, Kelly went on Saturday only. She had a class on Sunday. She's been taking these different hair classes from other local stylists, or something I found interesting that I didn't know was a part of that world, or any world. And this is something that I guess is the equivalent to having people come sign autographs at local shops like My Pops. Hair places will host a stylist. So there was a stylist from, I forget where, some podunk town in Indianapolis or in Indiana. She came in and did a class where she teaches her hairstyles to people. And then for Kelly, she knows how to do all that stuff already. She's not really learning much new, but she gets a chance to meet that person and pick their brain about their marketing and their merchandising and just how they make their money. And that's what she really gets out of it. So she had one of those classes on Sunday, and she's gone to several the last few months. Honestly, at this point, she builds a social media following large enough, she could be that person traveling and giving the courses, because she apparently is a rock star. I mean, I always thought she was anyway, but I'm learning from what she tells me and what some of her coworkers tell me, that she's the one that really is the rock star. All right, Super Jen, you're long gone now, but thank you again for the raid. Have a great day. Any after parties, birthday parties? We got together Saturday night and had a little dinner. It was me and Allie and Priscilla and Jungle Bry and Betty and our friend Gavin. Hope I'm not leaving anybody. Oh, Chewy Hawk. We all got together and had a dinner, a couple drinks. That was great, just to see folks that are here in the area. We did the same thing last year and had a couple of different folks, but it's easy here. A lot easier here than at some of the other cons. So we did that, and it was a good time, real good time. There's no real after parties at this convention. There are some late panels and like, I know Allie went to karaoke. They have some stuff like that at the convention centers, but not the kind of off-site parties that you see at like San Diego Comic-Con. No other con really does that. Post office shouldn't be there to make money. It's a service. Since it's owned by the government, yeah, Walking Miracle, I see it that way too. But they should be able to, I guess it wouldn't be a profit. They're not making money, but they should reinvest in the post office because a lot of those buildings are very outdated. When you go in, it's kind of sad. No offense to anybody that works for the post office or the government, but like my local post office is definitely just hasn't been changed in forever, right? Their computer systems seem old. Like I don't know that they're doing a lot to advance the direction of the post office. You know, it needs to be some funds for that. My dad was the marketing manager of the USPS San Francisco district, and I hear this at least once a year. Oh, the explanation about all the money, where it went? Yeah. Did you, Justin Clayton? That was great. I love that. I should have got some of those stamps, too. Well, Punk, you got inflation. You got gas. You got materials. They print make all those boxes and stuff that we can actually get for free at the post office. You got the labor of employees. You want to match the rate of inflation for that. There's a lot of costs that go into, shipping stuff across the country. I really don't have any problem with stamps. I just make them $1 each, honestly. Just make them $1 and let's stay there for a long time. I know a lot of people will be against that, but how many stamps do you really use? I use very few, with the exception of when I send out stickers and stuff to you guys. I pay all my bills electronically. I don't send letters to family members. Like, I just use it for shipping, really. Y'all may completely disagree with that, but Boba James says the post office also loses money because they offer the big companies rates well below rates, but this all service normal people pay full price for like pennies on the dollar. Yeah, well, I think it's in an effort to keep their employees busy and keep it all relevant. I would be your roadie, 100%. I can be your tech guy, make sure the projector's set up, handle giveaways and stuff for her. Yeah, there's a lot I could do to let her be the rock star and I'll be the roadie. Do I happen to watch The Rookie? Absolutely. I've watched every episode twice, if not 3 times. I watched karaoke for a bit. The list was 167 songs long. Whoa, that's crazy, Allie. Michael Lazar said we are a for-profit business. So yeah, we provide a service, but need to make money to update facilities and such and pay employees. I nailed it before I even read it. That's what I was saying. Callard says, I remember when Congress wanted to charge for email. Yeah, that's so stupid. Get out of here with that BS. Punk said that's true. I think I've only used stamps when I sent out our wedding invitation. See, yeah, we don't really use them for normal correspondence much anymore. Christmas cards, which, look, how many Christmas cards you send out, right? 20, 30? The cost of producing them is probably cheaper than the stamp would be. That's still not that bad. Private companies would say, nah, not doing that unless you pay money to deliver to individual addresses. Yeah, there might be a change. Like maybe those 8 neighborhoods that each has their own mailbox that have loved that service forever, it goes to the community mailbox, and they'd bitch about it and complain and hate it. But is it really the worst thing in the world? No. For some people that might have a hard time getting to the mailbox, that would suck. But maybe there's some sort of allocation they can make for them. I don't know. The service I'm thinking about is mostly... Yeah, I just read that. Wouldn't surprise me if somehow Elon ends up owning the Postal Service. I'm not going to get into this discussion because I know people have very strong opinions one way or another. I will say this. I think the concept and idea of taking down the bloat of the government is solid. I think maybe the execution has been too abrupt and too harsh. There's no way in hell we're ever going to get better and make everybody happy. Not going to happen. So something had to happen. Here we are. Take it or leave it. Hate it, love it, whatever. It's amazing the silliness that I hear about where we're at, the state of the government, how we've gotten there. I should say it's not the state of the government, the state of the budget of the U.S. I should say that. Really? People use stamps to send a whole package? That's crazy. It's the personal thank you note that comes in the mail that has meaning rather than a quick email. I agree with that, Lender. Yeah, a handwritten note for things like that, very important. Still to me worth $1, personally. I've had to deliver them and joke, I don't know if they used enough stamps. I bet. Like, does anybody actually check? What could we get away with? Whenever I think of the Postal Service, I think of Men in Black 2 and just, yes, 100%. Who was that they did the B-boxing with? I'm blanking. How can I not remember this? Is that Marky Mark? No, not Marky Mark and the Funky Munch Marky Mark. What was that dude's name? I just saw this clip the other day. I just recently caught up on the Ricky Show, and I can't get the Daddy Cop. It's so good, TB420. We were joking we were going to make a shirt of Daddy Cop, the song. It's so funny. Jazz says, I once received a box that was literally covered in stamps, probably $30 to $40 of stamps. Kept the box, still have it. Oh, that's hilarious. I agree with you there. Tired of every year when the threat of government shutdown comes around, I get anxious because my husband is military and may not get paid. Yeah, I don't want to make anything political. Politics to me, I have not been interested in politics my whole life. It's always given me the ick. Recently, I've paid attention more because I am just scared for where we're headed as a country, right? And I wanted to see change, and we're getting that now, but definitely not making everybody happy. What I do think is really ridiculous is the retaliation that some people have been showing by, like, we just had 2 different Tesla locations here in Seattle area where there were fires set by people that were fighting back. I think that's silly. I think this whole thing about the 5 things you did last week emails and protesting and stuff is silly, but I don't know enough to speak on it. I just look at it from Biz Marquee, that's it. I just look at it from an outsider standpoint with a little bit of information I have and go like, really? But I don't know everything about it. And that's why I've always stayed out of politics, because I don't know enough. I just know a little bit. And I don't feel like I should speak on something I don't know about. Yeah, totally, Allie, totally. Yeah, I don't want anybody to come in and go, oh, he's gotten political and he's leaning this way or he's leaning that. No, we want to have fun here. I think it's important when we have these conversations about things like shipping, we should understand a little bit more to it all. And I know, going back to the questions earlier about shipping outside the US and how much it costs, like, you can look for the ulterior methods and you might be able to find them. Again, I think your best bet is finding a friend that's willing to navigate getting a cheaper shipping option to send you those in bulk. But then that's the friend's labor and time, and like, I think you just got to chalk it up to an L and pay the $15 and $10 that Funko charges, and I think you're winning. I think you're winning as best you can on that deal. Fourth curator, I guess they totally could. That's fine. If people want to leave, they can leave. I got a package from Mexico, eBay seller once, and they used popcorn as the packing material, and it was buttered. Oh no! Buttered popcorn? Oh no! Sarcasm. That was sarcasm. Red Ranger put out there. Just FYI. What was I gonna do next? Oh, the blends. I put up a blend yesterday as a surprise, and I didn't really get to talk about it. And there were a few left. For any of those of you who aren't following me on Twitter, that was the only place I posted about it. But every once in a while, an opportunity comes up to show some love for the diamond hands. For those of you who are holding, or those of you who are willing to do the research to jump on some things, some opportunities. I put up a blend. Wait, that area changed. It used to just be, no, it has always been several. I put up a blend for Mario Day yesterday, and there's still a few left. There's 8 left, and I believe both 1-of-1s are still there. So if you do this blend, you got a 1 in 4 chance of pulling a 1-of-1. That's a really good opportunity. So for those of you who are here paying attention, last year I gave away this free NFT. It was the Mario Day. And I originally gave away one with a white background, and the bots took over and took it. So I wanted to make that one have no value, and I did. I made one with the blue background. That was the only one you could use for blends. If you have one of those, or you want to buy one, they're still available in the Droppp section, and you have one of the Mario and cosplay from last year, Hoot and cosplay from last year, you could essentially upgrade that this year to, there's only 4 options here. You can either get the Hoot 8-bit Mario sticker, the Mythic, which all went out like immediately, was an animated card. There's the 1/1 in the animated card, and a 1/1 VHS. If you don't have this Mario from last year, guess what? That blend is still available. So you could do that blend, pull the Mario cosplay. There's still 24 of them left. You got a really good odds of getting that cosplay out of each of these. There's still 59 blends left. I purposely didn't advertise it much. I purposely didn't go through and hold anybody's hand. I think this was just like, hey, if you're paying attention, you can go in and scoop up. I've got these 17 rare NFTs to say thank you to those of you who are holding. Go have some fun of it. No sellout wheel, because basically you're getting a guaranteed banger for every blend. I like my 64-bit Mario from last year better. Well, you could totally keep it, but you could always do the blend and make another one. You know, like you could keep yours and then do another one, and then get the new stuff. I mean, you got a 1 in 4 chance at a 1 of 1 right now, which is pretty amazing, right? For those of you who didn't see, I can't zoom in on these graphics that show you, but I can come over here and zoom in, and I did a lot of work to make this 8-bit, and I think it came out really fun. It definitely looks super pixelated and crazy from up close, but from far away, this is 8-bit. Like, it's pretty close to the real deal, right? I thought there was only 1 animated card, but then looked and saw there were 5 of them. That was the Mythic. That was the Mythic. It was gone. Yeah, Walking Miracle got them all. Walking Miracle did like 3 blends and got 3 Mythics. Isn't that nuts? The random number generator has been drunk lately. Let's see, who holds them? Yeah, 3 of the 5 are Walking Miracle. Isn't that crazy? So if anybody's looking to do trade skis, Walking Miracle has them all. Really blurry, needs work. Yep. Thank you. If anybody wasn't here on Friday, I did the giveaway for the Hoot cosplay with Lasso, the Sheriff Hoot with Lasso, and we didn't really get to look at it on Friday because I hadn't minted it yet, but there it is for you guys who didn't see. Everybody who did those blends and helped finish them within the allotted time had a chance, and Nadu won this one because he'd done a ton of blends. It came down to a 50-50 for him and somebody else. Happy Walking Miracle let me blend 1 before she got them all, says Tech. Yeah, Tech pulled 1 too, that's right. Thank you, Walking Miracle. Yeah, I've got the process down for the 1 of 1s pretty good, and I like where we've settled in. Like, I love that now if you go to my templates and you type in a search like gold, you could just see all these. Like, it's so fun to know that the amount of time and effort I put in to making all the art and then to make these cards and stuff, I think is so cool, which is why, segue, I've been continuing to work on, no big changes since last week, but I've been continuing to work on my website. For those of you who may not have seen it, nerdsunite.online. And let's see how this has all changed since I made new NFTs. If you go to Nerds Unite NFTs, and you scroll down a little bit, I'm hiding it now on purpose. It's buried about halfway down on the page, but there's this Nerds Unitas collection tracker. It's a checklist for you to put in your wallet and check your collection of my NFTs. Currently only my NFTs. We'll see where the future goes. But you can put in your wallet. It's not a drop down. It just pre-filled it from last time. You can just type in your wallet. Check your collection. And it automatically builds sets below, like Atomic Hub offers if I go build the set manually. Sadly, that is a broken system. Mine here is working. We have some image issues again. That's interesting. The videos, oh, there it goes. It's just taking a while to populate. But like for 2 NFT and Beyond is now the most recent one at the top because I issued that 1 of 1 to Nadu. So if you wanted to see, hey, what NFTs do I have from that set? You can come in here, put it in your wallet. Anything that's gray, you don't have it. If it's white in the background and it says quantity owned, it'll have a number out to the side and you can see how many you have. So if you want to, you can go through these collections, see what you have, what you don't have. You'll know what's there in a nice, easy to read format because trying to go through this stuff on Atomic Hub is not super helpful. So I built that in. A lot more functionality I want to add to it. Like, look, I don't have any of those for Marial Day, but look, there they are for Marial Day 2025. I do have Nerd Without Fear, but I can collapse these, scroll through. I don't want to look at that one. I can collapse that one. Eventually, I'm going to add filters for show me all the hoots and shirts, or show me all the hoots and cows plays, or show me all the logos, but I hadn't gotten there yet. Eventually, show me all the animated cards, stuff like that, or take me directly to a certain collection. I got a lot of work to do. I'm not a coder. I'm learning as I go, using ChatGPT to make all this happen. I would love feedback from anybody if anything's broken right now, but as far as future feature sets, I know where I want to go and I want to get there. One of the things I really want to add is, let's say you come in here and you're like, you see these Marial Day 2025. I think it's going to be really easy to add in. And that's another little note down here that will say quantity available via blend. And it'll tell you how many are left in the pool. So if you come to this, you can go, oh, I really want that. And you can click on that and it'll take you to the blend where you can do the blend. No one else is doing that. And I think it's very, very possible. Show me only ones I'm missing. Yeah, we could eventually get to that too, I think. Yeah, right now that's challenging, but I think it's very much possible down the road. What I learned, and I was telling Brian, Jungle Bri, about over the weekend, was I'm literally talking to ChatGPT and have it doing the code, and then I plug it into the website and we see what happens, right? I'll take 2 steps forward and get things functioning and working, and then I'll make another change to add something, and I'll take 3 steps back, because that will have broken some stuff. And I imagine that's what coders actually go through, especially ones that are learning. So I have to be careful and not try to add too much at once. I add a feature set, test it, see how it works, and then step back and try again. Jay said, sorry, I was in a meeting and overheard you say something about Doge and USPS. Can you say it again? I didn't hear all. I really got no information, Jace. I was just saying that I think it's really interesting that the USPS, if you watch, there's a great episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, like his politics or not, that talked about the reason that the USPS is broke, and they're really not. It's just that all the money they make is now allocated to paying the pension for something else, right? And there's been the discussions about privatizing. I don't know if that'll ever happen or if we're headed that way, but I hope that it can get fixed, because I think that's a silly part of the way our budget for the U.S. is used, is to steal from one group of the government to give to another, which probably happens all the time. But then that the narrative about the USPS is, oh, it makes no money, it's broke, we need to charge for emails, or nobody sends envelopes and buys stamps, or nobody sends packages for the USPS. It's BS. Happens all the time. USPS is making money, but it doesn't look like it on paper because of some policy, some thing that was put in place that then broke it. And I hope it'll get fixed. Alex said, if you go to the Droppp Marketplace at the Droppp Monsters, you can't click open them, but you have to right-click open it to a new window. I wonder how that occurred. Did anyone else have the same problem? Interesting. So if you let me go through this. If you go to Droppp Market and you want to open a Droppp Monsters, so in my inventory, that's the right way to go. Droppp Monsters. Wait, I have unopened ones. This is what you're talking about, right? You're talking about these? You can't click open them. It looks like I could. I don't want to open mine, but it looks like you could. But it doesn't work, you're saying. And if you right click and open it in a new window, it does work? Well, that's interesting. I would let the Droppp team know. Go on their Discord and tell them that so they can fix it. Through the marketplace. Where you shouldn't be able to open it from the marketplace. You don't own it yet. Let's test this. Yeah, I don't know that many people are dealing with these, are doing anything with these Droppp Monsters. Currently, they don't have any value, or do they? Do they have value in the game? So Droppp Monsters was the thing they put out a couple years ago, I think. It was the only non-NFT thing, if I remember right, that Droppp did. Here we go. Droppp Monster Series 1. Came out in 2022. So, wow. 3 years ago. Almost 3 years ago. They don't have any value? Okay, yeah. Shop collection. They put out 10,000 of these, and they were one-of-ones each with different attributes. And if you got one, you could apply it. You see in the upper right-hand corner, I have one as my avatar. You could use it to make it your avatar. There's still a lot on the market you could buy. You could search by name. So like I was hopeful there was a Sully. I could search Sully. There wasn't. If there was a Sully with an EY, I could go try to buy it. Remember, there's 10,000 with, I think they all have different names. I could try Karen. Is there a Karen? No, but I see Cullen. There's a bunch of interesting names. Not all of them necessarily. There's a Brittany. Not all of them necessarily super unique names. Corinne, Bree, Kiera, etc. But they're all one-of-ones. And at one point, if you owned one, it meant you didn't have to pay for one of the fees when making a purchase on the secondary market, on the Droppp marketplace, but that was for a limited time. Since then, I don't think these hold any value or utility. They do have value. You could still buy them. But I don't think they hold any utility. But there were some attributes that you could look through too. Like over here on the left, we could go to headwear, cowboy hat. Yeah, and look, there's somebody knows what I would be going after. And so they bought up the cowboy hat, Monsters Inc. looking one. They went $900 for it. What they don't know is I already have some. The one I have up here does have the big orange cowboy hat. But there's some other ones you could buy. There's a $5 one, etc. By the way, looking at Droppp reminded me to update one of the commands to not allow .dp, so you won't need to keep saying that. You mean when people are playing Twitchy Tides? Awesome. Good call, Dan. Yeah, I still have to warn people when they fill out my form, like today, but you did get the list for free or at a discount when the market first opened if you had that as your avatar. Oh, there you go, Mark and Lazar. I forgot about that. No James? No. Yeah, I think these are pretty neat. I always wanted to see Droppp do something else with them. But since the Droppp marketplace is so heavily Funko, it's probably difficult for them to do much with this because this is a non-Funko thing. At least that's how I see it. I don't know. They're all owned by one company, but it would be cool to see them put some utility in place for them again. Because like you saw when I went to my unopened boxes, they don't have a lot of value. But there's still some out there that are in the boxes and trapped. And if you look, you can see over here on the left the different like headwear. If you want to get the rarest of the rare, there is a legendary wizard cap. So those might have a little more value. And then if you go like, oh, well, I want what are some other? I want a zombie. That's legendary. Yeah, look at that. Like there's not even a zombie with a wizard cap. There's a super rare one. Look out. Oh, I've never seen that before. That's cool. Because I'm filtering by just legendary features. Yeah, these are all zombies, mouths. Here's just zombie eyes. For hair, clothing, what's a legendary clothing? Workout? There's a workout zombie. So there are some that are much more rare. I imagine if we went on NFT Hive, we could get those. Can we get those grading? The graded NFTs where it tells you the overall score, not graded like a card or a comic book, but like the score of it based on the different rarities of the different attributes. So there's like one in the world that's the rarest, period. That's the most valuable. If we went price high to low, what's the most expensive one? Oh, that one we just saw at $9,999. That one is like background and zombie eyes and mouth. Probably is one of the most rare ones, but like this one, I don't think that's all that rare. Somebody's just asking a lot of money for it. That one's pretty cool. The rest of these are very plain, but people are asking a lot of money of them just because they can. What's up, Darju? Is there a zombie with a comic? Was a comic a thing? Let's see. Eyes, hair, mouth, headwear, eyewear, jewelry. How would I filter if they had a comic? Accessories? Was there accessories? Doesn't look like there is. I don't know how you'd filter that. Yeah, I don't think there were any comics, but I always like the one-of-one type projects where you could get cool one-of-ones. It's just I don't think anybody on Wax has really utilized that for much of anything other than, well, it's rare because it's rare. I don't think the rarity has given you utility in any way for anything particular. Never too late. There was that cool bee project a few years ago that was on NFT Hive where you get the different bees with the gold and silver wings and stuff. Those were super cool, but again, no real utility because of it. So I wasn't super excited about them. I think the PFP craze is gone. At one point, that's all any project wanted to do. I think the last time I saw any PFP was a year and a half. Well, on Wax. Still big, I think. I could be wrong on the like OpenSea because those are all about one-of-ones. Yeah, I think for what Wax is and is capable of, it lends itself more to cracking packs, lower mint numbers out of higher, like you do 100 or 10 or whatever, and you get the lower mint numbers you're tracking. Gaming, mass producing a bunch of an NFT that gets burned or used or blended or whatever, and that stuff's not as prominent on like your OpenSea Ethereum type NFTs. Now, I'm going off the little bit of knowledge I have on that. I've not been big into the Ethereum side of things just because it was crazy expensive to play in that field, and I was just like, not for me. I want to deal in nickel to $50 NFTs, not $50 is the gas fee, and I'm buying a $300 NFT. That wasn't for me. Cracking packs, sports cards, garbage pail kids, Funko NFTs, that's my speed. That's where I like the lottery of opening the pack and stuff. There is some of that on Ethereum, but it's not as prominent. That's why I find it interesting that more people haven't come to Wax with their games and whatnot. Speaking of games, that's something I want to talk about today. Since we're going to be closing things down here in about 15, 20 minutes. There's another NFT creator on Wax. He's called Broken Dolls, and he has some really fun art. But he's made a game, and I shared this, and I wanted to actually show it on screen. He shared this with me the other day and said, "Hey, check it out." And I was like, "Oh, this is so cool." Where'd it go? Here it is. Snake, like the old Snake game that we played on our Nokia phones and every other small processing power machine over the years. Waxsnake.vercel.app. Instead of me showing that link, it'd be nice if we could show some love here. So I'm going to show the link to this tweet. If you guys would be so kind as to like it and show it a little bit of love. That's Twitchy Tides. Where's mine? I'll drop this in the chat for you guys. Show this tweet some love and help garner a little attention for Broken Dolls. He's always been supportive of my stuff, which is very much appreciated. And I'll put it on YouTube as well. There we go. But you can go in and play this game of Snake, which is super cool. Yeah, thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Chuck. I love this cover image. Reminds me of an old album or a cassette tape. You can log in with your Wax wallet, which I don't think there's anything salacious going on here. I'm pretty sure Broken Dolls is legit. You can purchase some NFTs that'll give you a little bump if you want. I had a hard time trying to purchase them the other day, actually, but I have some. And then you can start the game and you use your mouse and keyboard to actually play Snake. Watch this. I don't know if there's audio. I didn't check. But you can see just a single pixel right now. Snake head. There's certain items I want to grab, certain I should steer clear of. Of course, those red like skull things I don't want to hit. Here's a power up I'm going to try to get. Right now, I think it's just to play the game, brag, have some fun, but I think there's a potential eventually that maybe this could be something to win NFTs with. I don't know. I don't know what the plans that Broken Dolls are. It's going to pick up speed in a second. Got to make it through the levels. I used to play on the Nokia all the time. Every time it shifts like that, changes where things are on the screen. Throws me off a little bit. My high is like 300 points. Oh, what? What did I hit? There was nothing on the screen. That was a score of 140, plus I got a 20% bonus, so that's 168. I just always dug like simplistic games like this, and the fact you can play it in the browser and it's related to NFTs is pretty cool. I didn't really read through. Oh, here's NFTs. Duh. So yeah, I have I think these coins, but you could still pick some up cheap. What happens if I buy a third one? If I buy this one for 6 cents, is that gonna change my bonus? Let's see. Right, totally. Nadu6. Yeah, Cobra. Oh man, there's a documentary coming out about how Stan Lee was getting taken advantage of and abused by his handler. You know, I don't know anything specific, but I watched for years as I went to cons that guy. I know who we're talking about. I watched their interactions, and that guy was not a good guy. I could tell that. And I remember those rumors, and I remember watching and thinking, I really hope that's not really happening. I don't know if I can watch that documentary just because of how I feel about Stan Lee. That guy seemed like a real snake. He seemed like a real piece of work. I saw him yell at people, not at Stan, but I saw him get really like super angry, and I heard some things. Let me try this again. I bought that other NFT. Sure enough, look, I now have a 30% bump because I own those NFTs. So, like, what's the... Let's see. What happens? These are 6 cents? Or show me some more. So I can just keep adding 2.65 wax. And who knows, in the future... wait, those also say details. Here we go. Buy. In the future, Broken Dolls could use this game to allocate some other prizes and stuff. So I'm not saying run out and buy a ton of these NFTs for the bonuses or whatever, but I'm not saying it hurts. What's up, Tanner? How are you, bud? Maybe in the long run, this is going to be something big. What happens if I buy 2 more? That's another 6 cents, right? All right, let's try refreshing now. See what that does for me. Is that going to give me a big bonus? Tanner, earlier in the stream, we unboxed the Cartoon Network Pops I got, in case you wanted to go back and watch. Really surprising to see the prices. They've gone done pretty good in the tertiary market. 50 to 70 bucks across the board, it seemed like. Apparently I never got the rest of my Universal Monsters. My Grail never arrived, so I got to go do some research on that and find out why. Yeah, look, I own 5 NFTs. I get a 50% bonus. I don't know if there's a max here, but isn't that interesting? And I wonder if hold on, let's keep looking at this market thing. If I buy something else that's a bit more expensive, does it give a bigger bonus, or is it just a matter of owning some NFTs? Listings, drops. Yeah, this is what I tried to get some the other day, but I guess I don't have his token. You can spend his broke token. But I wonder if certain NFTs give better power on this game than these. I got Ed, and Eddie, the Freddy with Johnny. I got the... I got the Robodexo. This is my favorite. Big in box. Really nice mold. So cool. I got 2 Samurai Jacks. And I got... Moltar. I had 2 of the Freddy as Johnny. Yeah, and they're all in really good condition. Well, I'm trying to break that one. Good job. Like, the boxes arrived in really good condition. But anyway, this, I don't know where the future of this game goes for Broken Dolls. But I think it's really neat, and it really speaks to what is possible going forward with the blockchain. And one of the things I've been reading about here recently is people using Grok, which is Twitter's AI GPT thing, to create games. And I think it'd be really cool if eventually we could create games that use NFTs that I could make one and prop up on my website, and you guys could go play to win some prizes and stuff. So I'll be looking into that. I don't, have time for a lot of that, but if I can figure it out, it'd be really cool to make something like this. Like, what about an Excite Bike style game? And if you can get the high score for the week, you win a one-of-one NFT of Hoot on a motorcycle or something. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to have some stuff like that. So if we support by playing this game, and Broken Dolls, it would be really cool to see what the future of this holds. What does he do with this? Like if he's getting a lot of players, and here we got this leaderboard, which there I am at 300. I got 5th place. Somebody's gotten 420. Oh, I know that Wax Address. That's one of you guys that's regularly here. But it's really fun. Now that I have the 50% bonus, let me try again and see if I can get a new high score. Wouldn't it be neat if he was giving away prizes for weekly or monthly or all time? Or I guess it'd be tough to do all time because when's that end? But cut out too early on that one. Maybe these skills I've acquired of playing Snake over the years are finally going to pay off. Oh, went right through it. Oh, geez, that one appeared right where I almost went. Got an ability. I can come down and mess with this one now. Oh, the power-up went away right as I got to it. No! Oh, I went the wrong way. That was, 345. New high for me. So, leaderboard, where does that put me? I moved up. I'm in 4th place now. Dang it, I messed it up. I was in 5th, right where I needed to be. So at the moment, there's nothing that you earn for this game, right? Just for fun. That's what I was saying, Shepard. I don't know what Broken Dolls' plans are going forward with this game, but to me, this is just guesses. This is just speculation. You spend the time to code and make a game like this, and you incentivize people and give utility to purchase your NFTs to boost your high score. Now what you would want to do is incentivize people to want to get the high score, other than just the leaderboard, right? So I could see him easily going like, hey, you know what? Let me give away first, whoever has first place this week, I'm going to give a prize to. Let's see if there's anything in his Twitter. Or is he on Discord? Maybe there's something in Discord. You know me, I wouldn't go read it, but there you go. He's showing off the leaderboards here on his site. Get a broken token and add a bonus to your score. Maybe that changes weekly, where next week it's not the broken token. Scores have been reset on Sunday, the 16th of March. I'll be rewarding the top 5 players with prizes. Here we go. Don't forget to get your broken token. Let's snake. There you go. So this Sunday, the 16th, if you're in the top 5, you're going to get a prize. Who knows what that is? Personally, Broken Dolls, he's had some pretty cool NFTs over the years. He was doing these really neat, I think his were the cartridges. Let's look at my collection. So yeah, there is something coming. Yeah, make sure you guys follow Broken Dolls. I dropped the tweet link. I've got 49 of his NFTs. I've got some packs I've never opened. Oh yeah, these cool like patches once upon a time. I forgot about those. Yeah, these cartridges. He made like the old Game Boy cartridges. I've always enjoyed these. He did some work with Crypto Kumas. There's a couple cartridges there, 3 with Crypto Kumas. He made like a double wide one, which is funny. I love that idea, that concept. Yeah, he's made a bunch of stuff, and I've scooped up a few over the years. I mean, honestly, looking at this now and thinking, what's he going to do going forward with the game? I always like the speculation part of all this, right? So what if I went to the market? What am I trying to do? Broken Dolls, view on market. He's using the broken tokens this week, but what could he use in the future? Plus, I haven't looked in a while. There are any mint 5s that I need to pick up on? There's one for 34 cents. Problem is right now, I'm not real keen on spending money because Wax has dropped so low, but there's a few in here I might scoop up. He's got some fun NFTs, and maybe they have future in the game. Oh, you got 8th place already, Bubba James? Nice. He's coming for me. I'm going to play another one before we get out of here. Oh yeah, you got to hit start over here. Be interesting if I could pair a controller and play this. But that, you don't really need it for this game. I haven't used a keyboard for gaming in so long. It feels very awkward. Oh, that one went away right as I got there. Could be a twofer. Could be a twofer. It wasn't. Oh, why are those so difficult to get sometimes? I want to go to this power up. Come on, get there before it goes away. Ah, it went away. I keep getting those, but I'm not getting those. I gotta work on that. Oh, it's a tricky one. Whoa, that worked out. Oh, I do not want to go in that corner. Ah, messed it up. I don't want to look at my high score. I just want to play. Oh, something appeared right as I turned the corner. 255. I love this. And you'll notice, too, I don't know if you saw this over here on the right. It says plays left 2. You can't just sit there and play nonstop. You get 5 plays, and then, like, every, I don't know, 10 minutes or 30 minutes, you get another play added. It'll show a clock if you use all of them to tell you how many more you're going to get. But I love, like, I don't know what he's going to give away, but what if it were something really cool? Like, what if he's like, this is a founder's level prize that I'm only going to give away to people who, you know, played it on week 1, or I don't know. I dig stuff like that. Which reminds me, don't forget about Battle Bowls on Twitchy Tights. I've been sending out some of the awards. Last week I sent out some for the previous month. I'll be working on February awards here soon. I have to give it at least a few days after the end of the month before I can give away prizes, but I'll be catching up on that. I do want to increase the utility or the bonuses for people playing the Battle Bowls. I've been thinking on that too. But you know, just one person trying to do it all gets tricky sometimes. I don't want to go down there. There's too much going down. Let's go up. Oh, the power up went away. Ding dang all. Oh, jeez. Come on, power up. Yeah, let's go. Ooh, that's a double whammy. I don't know what that was. That's the first time I got one of those. Oh, the background changing really messed with my brain. I didn't know that was a thing. No! Oh, come on. Wait, is that lead? I think that's a lead. Let's go! #1 in the world! Me and Tim the Tap Man. Him at Marvel Rivals and me right here on Snake on Wax. #1 in the world. I'm giving away a bonus Solly Bucks to everybody for that. That's fun, man. I love it. You guys go play. That's so fun. I'll share the tweet link again to you guys. Show some love for Broken Dolls. Maybe share that out to people. You know, let's support the Wax blockchain. Only on desktop, it says. I'll share this. I don't know if this is the same link I shared earlier. Might be a different one. But share some love. Give a like. Give a follow to Broken Dolls. Play the game. Maybe win some prizes. Make sure you score less than 450 so you leave my high score alone. If you please. I'm just kidding. Just obliterate my high score. I'm fine with that. Where's the ding dang old... I just was in Twitch so I could give you guys some points. Why didn't I do that? Where did it go? Where'd the window go? I am forever, there it is, looking for my frickin' tabs. Add points, all 50 for that first place to 74 of you. Fortnite better watch it. Exactly. Well, I'm #1 in the world now. Twitch shirts on sale again for $5. Not sure what they still have. Oh, thank you, Miss Jessie Star, for the heads up. Let's look. I don't know if I told you guys last week, I think, about this. I picked up a whole bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of sweatshirts and some enamel pins and some other stuff dirt cheap in the Twitch store. Let's just click there. We'll go to Twitch store. They do have, cool. They have all these sweatshirts and stuff they sold out of, but I could always use some more t-shirts. There's a $5 hoodie that's still available if anybody wants it. Here's a shirt in pink. Kelly had asked me about shirts. There's like a salmon colored one. Here's a white one. There's a long sleeve. They didn't mark down the long sleeve. They might at some point. I think they're clearing out inventory as best they can. There's a fun purple one. I like the blue. I'm definitely more of a black t-shirt guy. Yeah, a lot of the sizes are going to be toast because people come in and clear out the inventory. But they're probably just trying to clear out inventory. I'm not seeing any extra large or double XLs of any of these. But shoot, if you wear a small, medium, even some larges in there, cheap on the Twitch store. Can now retire undefeated. I mean, somebody could beat that high score in minutes. I should tweet that. I should tweet the high score. This is how we show some love. I got to level 6. So let me I gotta remember which platform I'm on here. I keep trying to do like Apple commands on my PC. We'll quote tweet this. We'll paste that in. Look out, world. New #1 on the leaderboard. That's one word, right? Leaderboard. Thanks to some key NFT pickups and some old skills made new again. There we go. Show some love. Show some love. All right, it's 2:05. I think we're good. Cass Phoenix, welcome back yet again. I'm going to close things out for today. Just don't forget, you got about 50 minutes left to claim your free NFT. It's one per person. Don't mishear that. You don't put in one for yourself and then your second wallet and your third wallet and your fourth wallet. If I figure out that you're multi-accounting, get it on the ban list, you never get another free NFT. Don't mess things up, man. I give away a free NFT every Tuesday. Just get one for yourself. If your wife wants to sign up, cool. If your kid wants to sign up, cool. That's just one per person. That's how we do this. Once you get the free NFT, do with it as you please. But if you go to sell it on the secondary market, don't sell it for like a nickel. That brings down the value of all the NFTs that we're holding. Yeah, get it, Ship. I'll be back for sure on Friday. We're going to do some gaming. We'll play the box game. We'll do some giveaways. This week, I'll continue to work on some other things. I don't know if there'll be blends for this free NFT I'm giving away, but I have some ideas. So there may be some blends on Thursday. Keep an eye out on Twitter. And if you're subscribed to my newsletter, not getting a lot of opens there, so I've not been focusing on it. Twitter seems to be the best way to communicate with you guys, so I'll continue to put it there. What else? Play your Battle Bowls daily. Don't forget to play Twitchy Tides. Don't forget to visit Twitchy Tides TV for your chance to win some great prizes there. Don't forget to check out Blends and Breeds. The new Series 5 packs are out. I had amazing luck on Friday with the Series 5 packs. I hope you guys have luck too. We got the new Fusion NFTs in there, which I still don't know what all they do, but I know Pop Paragon's going to be revealing that information soon. I think that's it. If you guys have any questions for me about if Droppp Arcade goes live this week, I may jump in when it goes live. Hoot the Monster. I like that. We may do some stuff. It may go live if Droppp Arcade goes live. If not, we'll save it for Friday if I don't think anything's like groundbreaking or different or whatever. But we'll have some fun this week, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Let me look and see who's live, and we'll get a raid going, because honestly, I need another bio break, and I need lunch. I haven't had any lunch. Who's on? Tim the Tap Man. Just talking about him. #1 in the world at Marvel Rivals. I don't know if it's in a specific game type. Welsh Dan. I think Welsh Dan is part of NFTuesday or Twitchy Tides Tuesday. That is today, Tuesday. And I love raiding over to him. He's just such a positive guy, such a nice guy. So we're going to raid over to Welsh Dan. Hopefully you guys can go over and have a great time hanging out with him. Before we get out of here, I'll add some more Sully Bucks. Another 100 to everybody. Why not? I'm being generous. Absolutely, Nadu. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you as always. Thank you, sir, for the support. We're going to raid over to Welsh Dan. And I'll see you guys on Friday, if not earlier. Thank you for being here today. Next Tuesday, we got the Avatar drop, but I think Drop Arcade this week. I think we're going to have some fun with that. So until next time, remember to wash your hands, check in on somebody you love, make sure they're doing okay. And above all else, most importantly, Nerds Unite. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Over to Welsh Dan we go.